Hey, yo, we're back again. Welcome, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody out there. It's time. No Cooldown Podcast. We back in the building. Episode 88. I feel like we're fighting Uma Thurman in a yellow suit with a stripe on it. You know what I'm saying? If you get the reference, you get the reference. But we're here again, another episode in. I'm ready to talk about these games, ready to get to this new week, man. Thank to everybody who, again, took the time out of your lovely weeks to stop, check in, listen to us, you know what I'm saying, talk about games and waffle for about a good hour and a half and change, possibly more. But we love y'all anyways, man. Of course, I'm here with my podcast partner in crime, When Easy. He's in the building. What's going on?
Hey man, chilling. Absolutely excited to talk about some of these sick stories we got coming forward.
Yep. You know what I'm saying? To him and all the lucky bastards that play Overwatch, you know, congratulations, I guess. Fuck you guys. I'm sorry. I'm only mad because I saw what's it called, Cowboy Bebop. That shit looks good. It's not on the show notes, but I did want to say
no, it does look phenomenal. I cannot lie.
I'm actually, this is the first time I've ever been like semi-tight about a collab that on a game I did not play. I'm a little bit disgruntled. I can't even lie. I'm a little bit disgruntled, but make sure y'all go again. The podcast is everywhere, again, on audio podcast platforms, all major social platforms, YouTube as well, everywhere. No Cooldown Podcast, except on Twitter. No Cooldown Pod. Again, check us out. Rate us 5 stars. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And also, if you're curious, if you're wondering, you know what I mean? If you want to see somebody hop in on the podcast, man, let us know in the comment section below, wherever you guys are getting this. Let us know who you want to see on the pod, man. Again, Richie was on last week. We've had some guests in the past. We definitely want to keep the ball rolling with that in some capacity this year. So if there's anybody in particular you want to see come through, let us know and we'll try and make that happen. But without further ado, we got a lot of stories to cover. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff to talk about. When is you ready?
Born ready.
All right, let's get right to it, man. First and foremost, again, main story, top story. We had the Xbox partner preview this week. It happened this Wednesday as of this recording. You know what I'm saying? Talked about a few different games that we're going to see in the near future or immediately on the Xbox platform. A bunch of games that went through. We had Unknown Nine Awakening, Sleight of Hand, The Altars, Creatures of Ava, Roblox collab with Chucky, The Sinking City 2, Final Fantasy 4, what is it? Was that 14 or 16? I think that was 14.
I think it was 14.
Yeah, 14 is coming to Xbox. Stalker, the original trilogy, a Monster Jam racing game, Persona 3's expansion pass, the first Berserker Kazan, another look at Tales of Kenzera Zal, Frostpunk 2 and Kunitsu-Gami Path to the Goddess. A bunch of games that have been announced in the near future and or immediately for either Game Pass or I guess the same day drop. So again, a lot of stuff to catch on, but I just wanted to kind of open up the floor in a wider sense and get your perspective. What were you interested in? What were you looking at? What stood out to you?
So to me, the biggest, like, oh my god, this looks crazy moment, the altars, I should say. Yeah. That was really, really dope. I really enjoyed seeing that game because, like, I mean, huge Death Stranding fan, so obviously, like, big desolate planet exploration, obviously, like, an environment that's trying to kill you, very much feels at home, but the entire concept of it, like, hey, this is a moving base, where I think it also changed the layout of the base because the basic layout changed multiple times throughout the trailer, and having these different people, like, who are all different from you, but they are all still you at the same time. Like, I think that was really, really a brilliant idea. Truly, like, when I saw that, it kind of won the show for me. And they had some other really cool things. Like, they had the first Berserker looked really cool. And I want to say Creatures of Ava was another really one that stood out. Obviously, Tales of Kenzera's out, big fan. But in terms of games that I hadn't seen before, I would say The Altars probably took the cake for me. Also, Frostpunk 2 looks dope. I haven't played the first one, but I heard immensely good things, amazingly good things. So I definitely want to try that out. And that Capcom game, Path to the Goddess, yeah. That game looked dope. I want to see more of it. Like, I'm still not saying that I'm hesitant for any bad reason. I just still want to see more from the game before I can, like, really commit to it. But I think that this was a really, really good showing from Xbox because everything I saw so far was pretty dope.
Yeah, to hop back on the train about the altars, man, I ain't gonna lie, yeah, that one definitely did stand out. I don't think it necessarily won for me, but it definitely placed for me. You know, again, the concept looked really cool, the changing, I guess, you know, environments of the base that you're on. again, hostile planet you can explore outside of it. The game looked beautiful. Really interested about that concept of, you know, like how many altars that you can create based off your life decisions. Like, when do these, I guess, opportunities to create an altar come about in your playthrough, or what you might, you know, be able to spawn up? Like, there can be internal conflicts with them, you know. We don't know what monsters or whatever's going to be on the planet outside when you're walking, and then, you know, they kind of highlighted that, you know, there's that conflict that could arise internally with your other selves, with your altars. So I like that concept a lot. It seemed really, really interesting. The game looks beautiful. 11-bit Studios, I think they might have something there. That
Bro,
looks
they're
good.
cooking. I was watching it and I told Ro, like, whoa, I think this is like the third game I've seen of 11-bit Studio. Hold on a second. Am I like, because I see Team 17, I can already name like a bunch of games off. Like, I see a bunch of different like 505 games. And I'm like, 11-bit Studios, my bad for not having you on my radar. I will not make that mistake again.
Yeah. Frostpunk, and now this. So I'm like, you know, and Frostpunk 2's on the way. So they're kind of double dipping.
Yeah.
Man. They got some real stuff, bro. There's some real stuff about them. I definitely love what I saw from that. First Berserker Kazan. I every time I see it, I'm like a little bit more. I'm like, listen, I know I'm not the most pro Soulsborne person, but still, I love the art style of this, and I really, really, again, I just like the look and feel of it, man. I want to feel like a badass sometimes. I really do, and I feel like sometimes Soulsborns, unless you're like super OD, like prepared for it, and you like, you know the meta, you know how to get to XYZ, whatever level build you want, you're gonna get punished and look like a bitch in front of all these NPCs. So, you know, the way Kazan looks, again, with the cel-shaded style, it's like, seems like you have a few different options in terms of combat you can go with. The bosses look amazing. The end, there's like a certain, like a dragon scale like type of boss, and he looked crazy. He had multiple stages. The environments looked really cool, like, you know what I'm saying, really lively. The snow was kind of moving with every attack and stuff. I like the feel of what I'm getting from Kazan more and more. Again, that's from the DNF universe, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Like, it is very much like, I was watching it and in my mind I'm like, oh, you know, it would have been sick if they would have let me play as the other people. But I know that, like, the game that I'm most familiar with is a fighting game. There's no reason grapplers should be in this game. or maybe some of the other characters in that fighting game, but like, I do think that franchise and their diverse characters all are cool enough to kind of deserve either their own big mainline game or even just a small project.
Yeah, and I feel like this could be a smaller project type of thing. I don't think it's going to be like a crazy 20+ hour thing, but it is like a condensed 8 to 12 hour joint where I get some Soulsborne action in there. You know what I'm saying? And it sets a good precedent. That's a really good game. That's Signed, Sealed, Delivered. That's a good experience for me. So I'm still interested in First Berserker. Creatures of Ava. In the best of ways, it reminded me of a brighter alteration of what's it called, Kane and Bridge of Spirits. It kind of reminded me in a certain way in terms of the gameplay loop. Like, again, like, you're a person, you know what I'm saying, you're a young lady who's, like, you know, on a planet set to restore it, save it in some way. Kane and Bridge of Spirits, kind of like you kind of restore the spirit world and balance the imbalances there with all the darkness and stuff. But instead of like all the little black creatures or whatever, I forgot what they're called, that Kane had behind her, but
I don't remember either.
It's off the top of my head. But off of that, Ava, or whatever the main character's name is, the creatures literally are that kind of like the companions that, you know, you save and you build with and use for whatever abilities that they may have at their disposal and stuff. So I like that. And again, just the color palette seems way brighter. And and again, I just immediately kind of drew my mind into that lane, which again, I love Kane and Bridge of Spirits. That was one of my favorite games of the past few years. So again, if this game is going to kind of reign similar in that kind of direction, but also provide their own spin on it with more of the animals, the usage between, you know, again, the player and those different creatures that you run into, the environments, I'm very, very much, you know, looking forward to it. I'm very, very much looking forward to that. Let me see what else. The Chucky thing I laughed at so much because I'm like, how you gonna let this little motherfucker run you like this? How you gonna let him run you like this, man? That was funny. That was super funny to me.
It was really interesting to see Roblox in a main stage thing. Like, because the thing is, I feel like Roblox is always kind of seen as like, oh, it's cool, but I wouldn't consider this like real video game. Not like in a derogatory way, but I always think it's like, it's kind of like Flash games. Like, I used to be like, oh, this is awesome, but this isn't GTA. Like, this is its own little subsection. But I love to see that they're like kind of like, hey, this is more than just, Roblox is starting to become more than just something you play online. Like, it's like a real full-fledged thing. So it's really interesting. You know, shout out to them for cooking, because like it's amazing to see. But it was one of those things where I was like, wow, If you would have told me there was gonna be a Roblox showing, like the odds of that on like a fans duel, like if you would have put that on like on any kind of betting website, yo, you would have came out on top. Crazy. That would have been a crazy call. But no, shout out to them, man. They're cooking. I am not gonna be tapping in, but you know, some people might. Some people might think this is dope.
No, I hear it, man. And just to highlight a couple other things, there's already expansion pass for Persona 3 that was locked and loaded. People gonna love that, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the Persona folks out there. The Sinking City 2, I had no idea there was even a Sinking City 1, but it's actually
me neither.
I didn't even know what the hell this was. Again, like I thought this was like literally like an Alan Wake stunt double game or some shit like that. I don't know what was going on for a second, but it actually looked pretty decent. It looked like it had some kind of like, you know, not necessarily Cthulhu elements, but it had that, you know, that air of a different horror to it. And again, it's a horror game, so I don't know if I'm gonna check in immediately, but that was interesting. Let me see what else was in store. Let me see. I think there was Monster Jam looked really cool. Actually, I'm not even gonna lie. Monster Jam actually looked really cool because it literally had the freestyle monster, like the literal jam mode, like you're in the arena and stuff and dancing around. That was actually cool as shit.
Yeah.
I like seeing that. Sleight of hand, I wasn't too one way or another about. Let me see. Unknown 9 Awakening. Now this game looks super interesting to me. I was very, very much like, yo, okay, what's going on? Like, people was like, at first I thought this was what's it called, Flintlock for some reason. You know, I was like, just because the background environment. I don't know why I thought that, but then it would just start warping through time, start doing the stealth sequences. Like, yo, this looks crazy. To me, this looks crazy. She was like stealing souls and stuff like that, warping people, doing force pushes. Like the gameplay loop looks super interesting. And again, I'm very keen to see what the time aspect of this game is going to entail. Like literally, as she was doing combos and stuff, she was fighting people from like, you know, an ancient time, BC time. Then she went to like a World War I, you know, types of enemy sets. Like I'm super intrigued by this, you know, by this premise and what this could bring. So Unknown 9 Awakening, I got my eye on that 100%.
Yeah, that one looked really interesting to me as well. I was like kind of lost at first. I was like, what is this game? And I was like, oh, hold on a second. This is interesting. That's the best way to describe it. It's one of those games that if their goal was to catch my attention, they did a really good job. Because next time I see this game, I'm definitely going to be paying close attention to what I'm looking for. I think it was a really good I don't know if this is the first showing, but it was the first showing for me. And one thing too is like this was a really good showing in general, just for Game Pass in general. Not everything that was showcased will be on Game Pass, but I think it's really safe. It's safe to say like the Game Pass obviously on top, very much not being moved in their place. Like they are very much staying exactly where they are. And like the biggest thing that I thought was like the coolest when it came to like just how this incorporates the Game Pass in general is like Final Fantasy 15 and Persona, because getting DLC on Game Pass, I think is amazing. And if this expansion pass is like, hey, you own this on the Game Pass system, this is another huge step forward in their lead amongst other gaming services. Because it's one thing to have a DLC for a little bit, or like a standalone DLC, because I know PlayStation Plus will have standalone DLC, but I think the only people that really have done it, it's like Nintendo. They'll have like DLCs like given to you if you get the premium ultra deluxe edition or whatever the hell it is. But getting like a Persona 3 expansion pass on Xbox, like I think that's kind of huge. I think that's pretty dope. And it makes me, if I got a free DLC, if I'm gonna buy Persona 3 Reloaded on any platform, I'm gonna do it where I already got the DLC. Like it kind of just locks in a purchase if people really like this game.
Yeah, no, I hear it 100%. And before I kind of speak on the general about you know the impact of this stuff, I did want to talk about Kunitsu-Gami again. Every time I see Kunitsu-Gami, I am very much impressed. More and more, I'm like, okay. First we saw, we were like, okay, this is a very much an acid trip of a game. What the hell am I even looking at right now? This is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on. I can't make heads or tails of this. But this showing really set the tone for me and what we might actually see. I love, again, the art style. I'll say it, I continued on, very zany, you know what I'm saying. I liked, you know what I'm saying, all the different wild spirits and stuff like that you might deal with, super off the wall. But I love the colorful nature of, again, just the scenes, the battlegrounds, the place that you were in, and the gameplay loop is what surprised me. There's a lot, again, the melee based combat, that stuff looks really, really, really cool, but also there's kind of like I think somebody described it as a Pikmin type of thing. Like, you know, you're in like the town or you know, the village or wherever you're at by the day, and you know, you talk to people, you bless paths, you know what I'm saying, you open things up for people, and you get to, like, you know, I guess kind of recruit villagers and people who are along the path to, you know, be in your cause and help defend the village and stuff like that, and you know, just be in the right place at the right time. So that aspect of the daytime, and then transitioning that into the nighttime, where, you know, the spirits come, they trying to fight you, but you have a whole team of people that you can recruit, you know what I'm saying, give them the different roles and responsibilities that they have and fight back. That's a really cool aspect that I'm interested in, you know what I'm saying. And for me, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't drawn to something like Pikmin, you know what I'm saying, from years before and up to now, but that system in another format, you know what I'm saying, as I'm sorry for all the Pikmin fans, it looks cool in this different coat of paint, you know what I'm saying. So this is it's a very, very interesting take on that type of system, and that, and again, that the interpretation of that gameplay loop. And I like how it's coming out in terms of the art, in terms of, again, all the applications of the game and what you can possibly do, and just, yeah, how it will hopefully feel. So I'm very, very much interested in this game if I was not before. This showing at the partner preview made a really good case, you know, to get more interested in this game. Did it some justice, in my opinion. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, and overall, the partner preview was solid, man. Again, I don't expect anything crazy from, like, you know, the partner previews and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna save their big guns from the summer, because that's what they always do, whether it be in, you know, April, May, or the end of the summer towards like Gamescom time. I don't expect anything crazy, but to kind of fill out what you're offering on Game Pass, and to show that there's a lot of great experiences from, you know, you can call this a AA level if you want, but again, these are different experiences from different, you know, again, lanes and levels, a lot of different coverage in terms of genre. Like, Xbox is bringing a lot of variety to the Game Pass and just in their lineups in general, and this is stuff that's coming, you know, relatively soon. You know, Final Fantasy 14 was like March 21st. People said most of the stuff is coming in 2024, you know what I'm saying, most of the stuff. Only thing I didn't see an announced date for was I think it was the Sinking City 2. I think that was probably one of the few announcements that was like that, and probably Unknown 9. Just didn't have anything relatively announced date wise, but everything else was going to be either on the way or coming soon, or, you know, you had some type of, you know, relative window for it, which is good, which is very, very good. You know, you provide some assurance that, hey, we're not stopping with developing stuff that you might want to see, even if you're not, you know, privy to this stuff, even if you don't know what it is before. This could, you know what I'm saying, this could be something that you fancy. So I like what they're doing to continue to build out the library of again, Game Pass. This was a solid showing.
You know, I think this is a really dope. I think they really need to keep doing more of these, because there's so many games on Game Pass in general that even if you were to open up Game Pass every day, you're gonna miss a couple. And I think that showcasing certain games like the alters in your showcases will give people a heads up of like, yo, I need to look out for this because this looks really dope. And I also enjoy it because it doesn't, all of these games that were showcased, I don't want to be rude when I say this, but this isn't major AAA releases. This isn't anything that's gonna like stop or break the internet. These are just really solid games that deserve some time. And honestly, it was so short that it really just worked well. Everything was just like, yo, here's boom, boom, boom. Here's things you need to know. Here's things you need to see. And they did a really good job showcasing all of it. Like, especially with like the Stalker original trilogy being out right now, like that, ASAP. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like, people can enjoy this game today if they wanted to. So kudos to Xbox. They're doing it right. They're kind of taking a page from Nintendo's book and being like, yo, here's our almost bar for bar. Like, almost bar for bar.
You got my next point. You took my next point literally out of my head, bro. I was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, in the early years, I slandered tree houses. I really did. I'm man enough to say that. I'm man enough to say I really slandered tree house. I'm like, bro, what is this stuff that nobody really want to see? What is this blah, 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 blah? But looking holistically, man, I gotta apologize because Nintendo's been ahead of the curve this entire time. And I've said that, I've said this before on the podcast, and I'll say it again. They've been ahead of the curve with at least how they present and roll out a lot of these games. Again, the directs, that's way ahead of its time. Everybody was slandering them in the space until they showed y'all, hey, everybody's doing directs. Nobody wants to go to E3 and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Who cares? And everybody eventually got on the wave. Tree houses, partner presentations, what's it called? Sony State of Plays, not showcases. You know what I'm saying? The State of Plays show all the smaller games. Everybody followed suit. So, you know, Nintendo, that's a kudos to them and they work. Because, again, they were ahead of the curve, bro. Ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Shit crazy, bro. Oh man, if only they were ahead of the curve with some damn performance specs on that Switch. Jesus. We'll figure it out. But Xbox, good job on the partner preview. Good job. All right, we can switch gears here, get to the rest of the stories for the week. All right, y'all. Warner Brothers. I want to talk about them as infrequently as possible, but we must talk about a major, I guess, direction change, a shift in their perspective that has happened over the past few days. So Warner Brothers has kind of
no relation.
Has shifted their strategy on their future games to involve more live service, mobile, and free-to-play games. And the quote from WB Games CEO JB Perrette said, rather than just launching a one-and-done console game, how do we develop a game around, for example, a Hogwarts Legacy or Harry Potter that is a live service where people can live and work and build and play in a world in an ongoing basis? So there was a lot of discourse around this again after, you know, the underperformance of Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, the overperformance of a Hogwarts Legacy, how they're expecting to kind of approach the space forward. But it looks like for them, they're going the live service way. When, your thoughts?
I love that they literally said, hey, we know what the most successful game we've ever made is, or at least the most successful game of the past year. Successful being sales, by the way, not success being good games. The most successful game we made last year was a single player experience. The study shows that this is the best, like, making games that people want, quality, you know, like we have crazy amounts of IPs we can pull from. Fuck all that. Let's go the route we went with a game that is arguably one of the biggest flops of this year. Not saying it still is. We got a lot of year left. But let's do what we did with Suicide Squad, because that will make us the most money. I think it's pretty funny. These boys are so out of touch. Like, honestly, I don't. Honestly, lie on your resumes. Everybody who's listening to this, lie on your resumes right now, because the people who are the heads of these companies don't know a fucking thing about video games, don't know a fucking thing about this industry, and they are making buku bucks to make these decisions. So if they can sit here and lie to your face and be like, we know what we're doing, you can lie on that resume, man. Fuck them. What does it even matter? Everything is made up. It doesn't matter. You're gonna sit here and tell me live service is the way to go after the fucking fiasco with Suicide Squad? Hey, buddy, go crazy. Go crazy. You know what? You guys canceled a bunch of movies that people were excited for. Literally have not made a good movie in I don't know how long. I watched Aquaman the other day. That shit was awful. And y'all telling me y'all know what y'all doing? Hey, I wish we could fire people. Like, I wish I could fire people, because the way that board of directors room would be collecting dust right now, it would be so fat. The swiftness at which I would kick people out of this place, because it's bananas that you have so much to work with, so many good talented people and IPs, and you decide we're gonna do the opposite of what made us money last year. Go crazy, man. Enjoy life. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Oh, Embracer, you got company. Like bro, let's. I haven't seen, again, in the entertainment space, a company this hell bent on saying fuck you to everybody who's ever supported them at some way, shape, or form at a strategic or executive level. I've never seen a company so hell-bent, so determined to flip the bird to all the consumers and frontline workers, developers, storytellers, writers, again, mocap people, artists, all that stuff. I've never seen a company so hell-bent on doing that at every level of entertainment, at every branch of entertainment that this company touches. Like, it's crazy. It's wild. This is I don't even want to say unprecedented, because capitalism probably provided other examples like this before. We just probably ain't heard it yet, but it's tapped. They're tapped in the head, bro. All right, listen. You gotta like think about it though. Close your eyes with me, y'all. Visualize this. One game that you drop that's in your wheelhouse, by the way, it's your IP. You don't have to spend any money on licensing it. So imagine how much money you make. It's the highest selling game of 2023. You have that there. And then you have 2 live service games back to back in the Batman universe, or whatever you want to call it, in the Batman franchise, whatever you want to call it. Both of them are very, very much ridiculed and didn't come out to the standard that people wanted them. Undersold, underperformed, and again, just under-delivered in all aspects of the word. And you know what they said? They looked at both of those options and were like, let's go with option B. I think B's the one we want. We want the underperformance, but live service though. And this is my thing. Companies try to, I think this is something that happens in every space in one way, shape, or another. Companies try to compare themselves to the best possible outcome of a certain application or certain execution, and don't understand the tools, the time, the resources, and the ingredients that came, together that you may or may not be aware of to make that best possible outcome happen. In my head, I just think that these guys are like, oh, look at Fortnite. Fortnite's killing it. They're live service. They're killing it, right, guys? Right? Why can't we do that with all of our games? Why can't we do that? Because they came together with the actual billions and billions and billions of dollars that Epic Games spent. The games that Epic Games had to kill to make sure Fortnite was in a good standing. The amount of money they spent on collaborations, building the world, their own engine work, which is a huge thing in and of itself, to consistently update this game, keep it flowing and fresh and da. Like, there's so much work that went into Fortnite, and the right timing of the gaming boom, COVID lockdown, all that stuff to propel this game to something that it could have never been otherwise. That was a perfect storm of elements that came through. Not to say that there can't be a good live service game. You know what I'm saying? There can be other good live service games, and it depends on what definition you guys are looking for. If you're looking for, like, oh, games that always have constant updates, then Helldivers is a live service game. But depends on your definition. But I'm talking about a bit more strict, consistent updates, battle passes, and all that stuff like that. If there are good games, there are good games that can come from it, but I feel like Warner Brothers in this situation are looking at the top example with a grade investment, a grade application, a grade timing, a grade patience, a grade synergy from executive level all the way down to make the right decisions overall. And they don't realize that their team that they got to look at, they have D level execution, maybe C level at best investment, pure monetarily wise, even though they own most of the IPs. And they're trying to make an A+ dish with D+ ingredients. Do you see what's happening here? You know what I'm saying? What? You know what I'm talking about? Like,
no, I know what you mean.
Again, in content creation, I'll give you another example here, parallel. In content creation, there are some people who come up with a format that works for them, that is born from their style. They organically do it. You know what I'm saying? But at some point, people come along, they see you're getting traction off of that style, that idea, that format of doing things, and they rip it right off you. I've seen it happen time and time again over the years. We just talked about it yesterday. I was about to say, we literally sat down and talked about it yesterday for a second. People will come through and steal your idea, but then eventually, when they don't get as much traction as you, you know what I'm saying, in most cases, they're gonna wonder why didn't we get as much success as this person? Why didn't we do da? Because you don't know the ingredients that came together to make it work for that person. I'll give you another example. If anybody watches sports, anybody watches soccer, you know what I'm saying? 2 soccer clubs. One soccer club had to restart from the ground up after a shitty 6 years. I'm talking about the club that I support. You know what I'm saying? And then now another big club is really shit right now. And they're like, yo, look at those guys. Those guys had to, you know what I'm saying? They stuck with their manager when times were bad. And look at them now. They're great. But you don't understand. We were in a completely different situation than what you're in. You're trying to compare the best possible situation that happened with what we got. But your resources are different. Your thought process is different. Your ability to think outside of the box and create something is different than ours. You cannot compare those two situations. And so I think Warner Brothers they just see the money line. They just see the money line. Fortnite did great. X did great. Y did great. Z did great. Why can't we make more of that stuff to make that great money? But you don't understand. It has to be a great game first to really garner some great money. Unless you're Call of Duty at this point, you can ride off the coattails of great games you made in the past. But that's outside the point. It's just baffling to me that it's not just the fact that people switch, because again, most of these companies, I'm pretty sure the majority of the gaming space is live service anyways, because you know everybody wants to make money. I get it. I don't like it, but I understand the rationale of trying to deal with a lot of you like bums who are suits. You know what I'm saying? I understand your rationale. You want to make money. You want to. The shift between gaming focused, gamer focused, developer focused rhetoric and action has immediately switched and very, very much converted to shareholder driven thought processes. It's dominating now. It's not just warring with a developer perspective. It's dominating everything. You know what I'm saying? That's why Cyberpunk dropped too early. That's why there's so many other games that probably aren't in as good of a shape as you want it to be, because they probably had to drop early to meet a sales quota. We got to drop a game this quarter, you know what I'm saying? Or else our stock price ain't gonna look good. Investor confidence is gonna be low. All the mumbo jumbo from Investopedia that people Google and don't really know the definition of is gonna be in mix. You know what I'm saying? Because of those things. But Warner Brothers, you had the exact evidence. Listen, as controversial as the game was, Hogwarts Legacy sold like hotcakes. It sold like hotcakes, bro. And you had Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League back to back to back. You had those games, the clearest examples of what you should and probably should not do in a space where people are tired of live service. You said, what? Let's give them more live service, because I think we're going to get more money that way. Like, what are you talking? And listen, and this is the sad truth. As much as we can bash and rag on the suits at Warner Brothers to make a decision, this is the sad reality of it to me. They're going to get away with this because there's just enough people who are going to buy into these live service games no matter what. It doesn't matter what people do. It doesn't matter what people, again, voting with your wallet is a very serious and very real thing. And there's just enough people who are going to justify making these games because it has Batman on it. It doesn't matter what they heard. Some people might not even hear anything. They'll just see the commercial and buy in. That's all they need. They say, oh, another game in the Batman verse? Oh, I'm in. Boom. That's it. I'm going to pay for these DLC seasons. I'm going to pay for all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. They don't care. And the number of people that don't care enough is the exact number of what Warner Brothers suits and all the execs need to get by and say, hey, we're doing good enough. We're getting enough money off these suckers. Let's just keep going. It's that Call of Duty conundrum, bruh. We've made enough money, you know what I'm saying, to justify the existence of doing this in this certain way. Why stop now? And they're going full throttle with it. Again, this ain't rap. This ain't rap. You know what I mean? This shouldn't, in my opinion, be how it's supposed to be. But due to how sharp the knife edge is getting when it comes to thinking in the interest of an investor and a shareholder first, this stuff is only gonna become more frequent. And again, I put it past nobody that Warner Brothers was the first people to say, hey, we're going this way. We're getting to the bag. Screw all y'all. Y'all want good games? Hope you like live service, because give you more of that. Hope you like live service games. Hope you think are good. Like, it's crazy.
The funniest thing is when we circle back in 3 years and all their games are live service, and they're like, wow, none of these games are making money. And it's like, bro, people can only afford so many live service games in 1 month.
Bro.
Like there's just not enough money to go around. And we're already at that bottleneck because I'm not gonna lie to you, there's no game Warner Brothers can put out that's gonna make me want to buy skins in it over Fortnite or buy skins in it over other games, you know? Like it just doesn't make sense.
Like, and this was a funny you know, kind of just conversation point too over the past maybe a couple of weeks or so. The gaming industry isn't expanding, you know? It's starting
shrinking.
It's I wouldn't say shrinking yet because there's still a little bit of growth on it, but we're hitting a plateau. We're definitely slowing down. Like we've been slowing down for probably a year or so now, or maybe a couple of years, probably more. But we're 100%. We're hitting that plateau, and not just from an economic stage sense or whatever. If you think about it, again, more people are going outside. The economy's getting tighter. People are spending less money on games, especially in this moment in time. So all the signs point to, if you have a live service game, I'm less likely to buy you because I'm probably going to be expected to buy more things from that game in the future. Rather than buy a one-off experience, I could probably enjoy this as many times I want because I bought the game full price at that one moment. That's all I got to spend on it, and that's it. I don't think people understand at certain levels that the gaming industry is not going to have enough money from consumer side to justify an overabundance of live service games, especially at the AAA level where you guys want to push everything. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
if everything's a live service game at the AAA level, I can bet you people are going to have to make those choices. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are going to make the choice of one over the other instead of going for both. And I'm not going to lie, if you put you know, a game that hasn't had the best rep from a Warner Brothers brand up against, like, you know, Call of Duty, who do their season updates and have a season pass on shit like that, Call of Duty winning. Call of Duty's beating you guys because they've done this long enough. They have the clout in their hands. You don't. So it's just to me it's backwards. Eventually that well's gonna run out. Eventually the well's going to decrease enough to where you have to either cost cut aggressively, which that's going to lead to more layoffs, and again that race to the bottom, or you're gonna have to stop and rethink your strategy and say, yo, we should probably just, you know, focus on making maybe, like, you know, more insular, just hopefully great games instead of just trying to shove, you know what I'm saying, the money play down people's throats with every new release. You gotta end up making that choice, but the market is not gonna support the actions that you're taking and the strategy that you're trying to shift, in my opinion, because it's not growing to the amount that would justify it, that you would like to, that Warner Bros would like to, that anybody would like to. So good luck, I guess. But all this means for the people that, you know, that really matter the most in the situation, the gamers, is I don't think we're gonna see the crazy heat if live service is all we're gonna get from Warner Bros in the next few years.
Facts.
And that sucks. That sucks, bro. Man. Piss me off, bro. Anyway, I'm gonna get even more pissed off. When are you ready?
I'm born ready.
Oh my goodness. Sweet Baby Inc. Sweet Baby Incorporated and the entire I guess the debacle, the fiasco, whatever you want to call it, that's been happening over the past few weeks. And basically the main conflict has been between Sweet Baby Inc. and just, I guess, a Steam group of people who are somewhat targeting and, you know, trying to identify games that Sweet Baby has worked on in the industry and, you know, trying to, I guess, boycott them in some way, shape, or form. There's been videos from every damn body on this situation. Again, you got the Asmongols, all these people all over the place who've been given the situation. We had a whole investigation from Kotaku. One of their reporters actually just, you know, got into, you know, the Discord server, I believe, and got some information on it. There has been so much happening with this, people trying to be, I guess, anti-woke in a sense, and I guess just boycott Sweet Baby, who seem to be, you know, too woke for them, and you know, wokeifying the industry. I don't know what people are on, but when I just want to get your take of the situation and what you've gathered from, you know, the details, looking further into it, about the Sweet Baby Inc. situation.
Stop listening to Asmongold. That's first and foremost. I think I don't know. Like, I shit you not. I cannot express to you guys how fucking sad it is that you guys are worshipped. Like, here's the thing. That motherfucker has money. Yes. You will not sit here, and I'm sure everybody and their moms, like, I would love to have a reach like his for sure. But this motherfucker has cockroaches in his house
I'm
on him.
gonna keep it a stack bundle. Before you continue, I had to, again, I'm doing my due diligence on the video, right? So I'm watching the video and his reaction to the stuff, right? The first like 45 seconds of this video, this man said to the chat, "Hey, I'm drinking water. Oh, guys, when you know I'm drinking water, you know I'm down bad." I was like, what? Drinking water signifies you're down bad? Drinking a basic, like an essential drink of life? Hey, listen, I don't want to disrespect nobody, but that's crazy to me. That is insane. Insane.
I genuinely don't understand. Like, he's a millionaire living in his mom's basement, wiping blood on the wall. And I know people are gonna be like, oh my God, that happened one time. Why are we still like, that should have been the fucking big red flag to you.
Like, I mean, too many, nigga.
Like, I don't watch anybody who I don't want, like, it just doesn't make, I don't watch people who I don't want to emulate or not even emulate. The people who you surround yourself with and the media that you consume is a big part of who you become, like, period. End of story. So if you're watching a millionaire in his mom's basement complain about video games and wokeness and has a literal roaches crawling around him, and you're sitting here telling me he's on the right side of this argument, like, bro, I cannot look at you. One, shake your hand. Like, you get a fist bump out of me, I'm generous. Two, the fact that we have to speak to this white man about diversity, why the games suck. Does he even play games? I don't watch his shit. I don't even know what he does. He used to, and that's the thing that's crazy, is that everybody says the same fucking thing. You used to be a big World of Warcraft streamer, and now all you do is reaction videos and conversations about things you have no idea. Why am I listening to a white man living in his mom's basement with zero hygiene and self-care talk about diversity? Why is that your go-to? What is this conversation, bro? What the fuck? It's like me going to my mechanic and being like, bro, you think I should get this thing on my arm checked out? He's gonna look at me and be like, bro, we got oil on the ground. Everybody here's hands are dirty as shit. Why are you asking me for medical advice? Like, this is not the man you ask about diversity. The problem is a lot of people don't want to ask the real experts about diversity because you guys are gonna have to fucking swallow a hard pill and realize a lot of the fucking shit in your games are awful or stereotypical or just like there is, and the thing that's crazy about it is that this like Sweet Baby doesn't even do shit that you think it does. They don't walk in and say, hey, I think the next Mafia game should be about a black man and you guys should make it. And then the company with $1 bajillion in backing is like, yes, small company, we will do as you say. Like, no. What happens is white man at company says, let's do something different. And then they hire this company to make sure that when they do something different that they have never done before, they say, hey, you guys are doing this wrong, but this right. Change this, do that instead. It's like, you can't get mad at them for doing their fucking job. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. It's like blaming blaming plumbers for your toilet breaking. You called the plumber. He came here. You said, I want you to do a job for me. And they say, okay. How can you be mad at the motherfuckers who are just doing their job? Like, god damn. The thing that pisses me off about the thing that pisses me off about this whole ordeal, there's genuinely big ass problems in the gaming space. One is Asmongold. Outside of that, there are genuine problems like fucking greed, fucking awful games being shipped out day one. But y'all want to talk about people, a service? Newsflash, it is not legally required to contact Sweet Baby to do anything for you. You could easily not use them. The company you decided to fucking support called them up. So why the fuck are you harassing them? You wanna know why the company called them up? Because the people who are making the games that you enjoy, the people who have spent years doing this, that know fucking shit more than just the little fucking shit you know about video games, the people who create these fucking year-long fucking products, say, hey, they know what they're talking about. There's a lot of people in this space that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Asmongold being one of them. And then everybody who fucking believes him because you're listening to somebody with like maybe third-hand sources. and then you're using him as your first fucking source. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You guys are so stupid. It's not even funny. I wish we genuinely, as a society, don't deserve video games. The people who play them, a lot of the people who play them, do not deserve them. And the reason I say this is because you guys are just too dense to understand what's going on. You guys really want gaming to get better? It's not fucking arguing with Sweet Baby. I promise you that. As you play your fucking Call of Duty with $1 bajillion in microtransactions that you pumped in. I promise you playing Overwatch every day, being like, this is a shit game, but then harassing people doing their fucking jobs. Bro, y'all, hey, I've never in my life aspired to live in my mom's basement, and it's crazy to me that a lot of you guys aspire to be that.
Oh my goodness. I've been trying to find, the right phrasing to just like really encapsulate the people who are going after Sweet Baby and just, really just throwing everything at the wall because of what, a Mudahar is throwing out, or Asmongold specifically, for a lot of people who have been really targeting, or the people who are just naturally gravitated towards this Sweet Baby detected group on Discord or Steam or whatever. Stupid, myopic fucks. That is the apt description I can give to the majority of you. Stupid, myopic fucks. Now, again, for people who don't know what words mean, which is most of you stupid, myopic fucks, myopic means short-sighted, lack of intelligence, man. Very, very minuscule perspective, generally speaking. You can use Google and type that in, but again, generally that's what myopic means. I'm pretty sure you can understand what stupid and fuck mean. Hopefully, I don't want to spell that out for you, but this is my thing. I find it so funny that there are droves of people who look at a game and they see they have no understanding of the development process, what actually goes into it, what Sweet Baby's role in anything in gaming is, and they automatically just stuck things to the wall to say, yo, they're this, they're that, gaming is this and that. They didn't even take time to probably Google nothing. They was like, he said ESG. He said ESG. They're trying to do this. It's the cabal. It's the woke cabal. They doing this for the ESG score. I'm like, bro, if you took time to fucking read and step outside of a stupid fucking bubble like your own, you would understand why some of these groups are even in place. And it's not even specifically for representation. It's not even specifically for that. These motherfuckers piss me off so much, bro. This is my thing. Sweet Baby, at their root, what they've been doing since 2018, apparently from whenever they started. I can't remember what time frame, 2017 or 18, but they are, again, narrative-based consultancy. Narrative-based. They want to help enrich perspectives. They want to do all that good stuff. Now, again, a lot of the work that they do just happens to be in that space of, okay, hey, you guys are building this company is building a black character or whatever, that's based in the Bay Area of California. We have a lot of writers who have experience of either being from the Bay themselves, or they know people from the Bay. They have that specific perspective, and they're like, yo, let's go talk to them real quick, because we don't want to misstep and actually do something that's kind of a little bit wrong or not true to the origins of the character that we're speaking on. That, from a narrative sense, in whatever capacity that may line in, they're not judge, jury, and executioner on everybody's games. And you must include this, you must include that. You gotta include this character in this game, or or else. There's nothing like that. But these people seem to be so concerned with that. I've seen some people say the layoffs that have been happening were in part because of Sweet Baby, bro. Do you know how crazy that sounds? When do you know how crazy that sounds? Oh my, I'm like, I'm baffled.
It's nasty. Yeah. It's nasty. People don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and that's the part that really blows me. Just because you have a lot of money making content, that's the best word I can use to describe it, shit, or most people shit, because fucking I've seen it all. They're all grifters. Like, you guys just want to attach anything, and you know your fan base isn't going to look it up, and that is why. That is why these people are billionaires, because you guys are stupid for believing these people. And I'm not even going to sit here and act like everything I say I want you to believe 100%, like I'm right, they're wrong. I think they're wrong, and I think you should just do research. Like if I'm wrong, please let me know, because in the comment section they're quick to check us. But as Miguel says this dumb shit, and the droves of people that follow him are just fucking bananas.
No, he makes a good point. He makes a like, bro, I don't get it. Do I? Like I don't understand. You know what? This is it. This is it. This is my thing. I just understand the point of the bubble is bursting for a lot of these people. A lot of the people who are against actual representation from, again, marginalized, underrepresented groups are happening. There are organic stories to tell. There are organic characters to be put in those areas, those roles. You know what I'm saying? There are stories that can be crafted around these people entirely that do not involve, again, white. You know what I'm saying? We just put it straight. White people who've been the majority of representation in gaming for the longest time. Just because that bubble's bursting, now everything has to be an attack on them. How do I put this? The surface area that white people take up is now being moved to the side just a little bit to account properly for the underrepresented people to fully fit the picture of inclusion. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like there's this thing where people think that inclusion means we have to push somebody out. No, the fact is that nobody from underrepresented groups have been able to be let in. We need to be let in. Open the door to the house. There is plenty of room. There is plenty of space. The fact that other people are moving into that room to be shown, they automatically think it's an attack. They automatically, we have all this space, man. We could kick our feet up on the couch in space that was really meant equally for everybody else. And they think any little move to include other people is all of a sudden an attack on what they're about. And that's the thing that gets me first and foremost. It's so much of this, it's tomfoolery. It's tomfoolery at the end of the day. I don't understand why they are so quick to, again, get the tiki torches out, man, because let's call a spade a spade. It's just they don't want to have perspective. They don't want to learn. They just want what's theirs. The image and the perception of the gaming that they used to know, where they can run around with impunity and see themselves in every single game, that's done. That's going away. And I personally am glad that is, because everybody has a chance to shine. I'm glad it's not exclusively for, again, one person. Just because other people are getting included, it doesn't mean that it's the death of all you know. It's not the death of all you know. It's more of the inclusion of what people haven't even seen of their people, their stories, their, again, organic characters that they can grow and you know what I'm saying, learn to love and understand and see, go through different, trials and tribulations and stories, and have a flourishing experience that they get to interact with. It's not the end of a white person's world. It's not the end of a person who is, again, a cishet white male's world that, this happened. Other things are just being introduced that mean just as much. And in some cases more to people, because we have not even seen that before in this space. We have not even felt that before in this space at a consistent basis. But it has to be woke because, you know what I'm saying, this one chick who would be over sexualized in the past now has to, you know what I'm saying, she probably looks like an actual person instead of over sexualized, where, you know what I'm saying, the ass out the hair, crazy buster, whatever, blah blah blah. It's always woke if it doesn't fit into the little confines of what the dweebs have like in their heads. Like it just kills me. It kills me. Yeah, it's just it bugs me when people are taking, this thing which has existed for years and will continue to exist, and they're just they're scapegoating it as the reason why gaming is dying, when literally this is one of the reasons why gaming is getting better. For one, from a monetary aspect, because again, a lot of these people don't understand, again, the perspective that goes into the creation of these things, why these things even exist, and why companies would continually choose to use these things. One, just for the betterment of the space in general. You know, people want to hear more stories, more perspectives, more characters. Of course, you wouldn't just want to hear from, again, one single person's perspective on gaming the entire way. I don't want to see Nathan Drake 45 million times. I don't want to see Aiden Pierce 8 million times. I do not. You know what I'm saying? Beyond the fact of I want to see different perspectives, I do want to see people that look like me have, again, complex plots, you know, be put in, you know, different situations, be the star of their own show, do that type of thing. But from a monetary perspective, you know what I'm saying? Wouldn't you want games to capture as many people as possible? Wouldn't you want some of your stories? Wouldn't these writers, these game developers, wouldn't they want a game or a series that encapsulates and represents, you know what I'm saying, something that everybody can relate to, everybody can fully chip into? So and that in turn, that taps into different consumer bases, that taps into different demographics, that gets them more money. So from a pure money perspective, them being diverse helps them to grow. So, you know what I'm saying, there's that plain fact. If you're marketing to more people and you have things tailored to more people, there's a chance you're going to get more money. That's just the base of what, you know what I'm saying, what businesses can possibly do with that type of stuff. And it's just funny. It's just funny that the fact of they're trying to tie everything back to some conspiracy where it's just like, bro, people just want to be represented. That's really it. People are tired of seeing the same, again, copy paste white person that Indiana Jones in pixelated form 8 million times. People don't want to see that no more. People want to see different stories. People want to see some of themselves in gaming, because gaming is growing to a place that it should get to, a place where everybody has a spot to be represented, a form, a story, a way that they can be represented. And again, people calling it woke, it's funny, because these same people that will call the game woke and they call other people snowflake, they getting so perturbed, disturbed, and out of pocket when they see a game or something be represented in a light that is not literally a carbon copy of themselves. If a white dude, you know what I'm saying, if a cishet white dude is sitting there in a game character or whatever, or a protagonist or whatever, you know what I'm saying, if it's not that, they're gonna go out of pocket. They're gonna lose their minds over something, but they'll be quick to call people woke and snowflake, you know what I'm saying, over stuff that we're just trying to get to the equal footing. We're trying to get to the equal footing representation. And again, people are going so far as to target other games. They're trying to, again, do a whole bunch of just random stuff. And I'm sick of this, man. I'm sick of this stupid myopic fucks. It's crazy.
It's just wild to see people complain gaming is the same over and over and over again, and then getting mad at people trying to make sure that that's not the case. It just doesn't make sense to me. You guys don't know what you want. You just want to complain and be sad. I hate that a lot of you are on the internet. I'd rather you guys just be angry and alone in your basements, watching your Asmongold videos or whoever videos about how woke gaming destroyed everything, yet they're the only people trying to change the same boring games that you guys hate so much.
And this is also the funny thing that kills me too, because like some of the games were listed on Sweet Baby's website of what they worked on. Immediately, one of the biggest things I saw was, oh yeah, they tried to use the reasoning of, some people tried to use that reasoning of, what's it called, Suicide Squad Killer Justice League. No wonder it was so trash, because Sweet Baby was involved in writing it. They made all the changes and blah blah blah. They did all this, that, and the third. But I think that argument died pretty quickly when people realized that they were on Spider-Man 2, they were on God of War Ragnarok, they were on Alan Wake 2, which had the best narrative from last year. Like, what are you talking about? So what now? What's the thing now? Oh, and some people tried to say on Alan Wake 2, oh, the only reason that Saga was black because Sweet Baby was there. And then the writers of the story from Alan Wake 2 literally had to come out and say that is literally not true. We literally already had that plan before they even stepped in. It's focused ignorance, and it's a very aggressive lack of understanding on how any of this works. You are stupid if you're agreeing with any of this off the merit that you've literally probably not even looked into this as deep as you should have, or understood somebody else's perspective, or actually talked to somebody who might have some previous situation or did some research. Like, it's crazy how deep they're going in this well. They're going 200,000 in a group talking about, we don't want no woke games, we don't want none of this, we know Sweet Baby shouldn't be involved in this, that, and the third. I'm like, it's hilarious. This is some of the most care I've seen people look into the game development process over. But again, when people was getting laid off, off. I bet money the Venn diagram has some overlap with some people talking about, oh, who cares about devs? Get rid of non-essential people, just go make some games. I bet you money there's some overlap in there.
Yeah, they don't understand that consulting isn't legally binding. Consulting is just, hey, this is my idea, this is what I think you should do, and then the company themselves is like, yeah, maybe we'll take it, maybe we won't. There's many times where I've been in rooms where there are consultants who will give people advice and they'll say, let's go in a different route, and it's perfectly fine. But again, hey, gamers want to be right. They want to win the argument. They don't want to be right. They don't want to be truthful or factual. They just want to win arguments, because I guess in between shifts at fucking their local grocery store, they feel good about themselves winning online arguments.
Bro, it kills me, bro. How many people can say that they love games? If you love games, you would at least have some type of respect for the process that makes them. You know what I mean? And it just comes down to the bare fact, man. Listen, I don't want to mince words on the podcast. I don't want to skirt around this shit. A lot of the woke shit that people talk about, especially in the gaming space, you know what I'm saying? But of course, everywhere else, this shit always is a mask for the same racist, misogynistic, you know what I'm saying, transphobic, you know what I'm saying, all the type of crazy, hateful ass people in different forms or fashions. The application of the word woke is really a mask for a lot of you hateful motherfuckers out there. And I need y'all to shut the fuck up and sit in that corner, sit in that basement, keep smearing blood on y'all mother's walls, because this shit ain't going away, bro. People who are underrepresented, who've been marginalized, they deserve a space. It's been high time for where we get a space. And the fact that people who are already in the business and are already in the process of making stories for underrepresented, for marginalized people, are going to these consultancies and getting extra coverage and extra perspective to help put them in the best light, that's some shit you don't get. You don't get, because you'll never be in that position. You don't want to be in that position. It's funny, bro. It's funny. Again, I said this the other day, bro. The quote always sticks with me: "Be curious, not judgmental." And those people who skip to option 2 instead of being curious, you know what I'm saying? People who skip to option 2 instead of option 1. I know where your mind lies. I know where you are. You know what I'm saying? And that's why stupid remains in that phrase of you stupid, myopic fucks, because you don't seek to understand anything. You seek to cast judgment. You seek to, again, have a world where you think that your bum ass perspective is the only one that needs to be in gaming. You know what I'm saying? Not every character has to have crazy fucking, you know what I'm saying, 2003, what's it called? Tekken volleyball type shit, or whatever the fuck that volleyball joint was. You know what I'm saying? As body, dead or alive. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. It was there for a time. You could be a little horn dog somewhere else, but you people thinking that needs to be the standard. People thinking that needs to always be there. Oh, that black person's in this game. Why was that black person a black person in this game? Could have been a white person. It could have been like. It's funny. It's very funny. It's very funny that the same people in this vein who force the woke definition on people, or again the fake woke definition on people, because that doesn't even mean what woke actually is. That is not the real definition of what woke actually is. But again, a lot of y'all stole it because y'all thought it was whatever. You flipped a buzzword into meaning something that, you know, you don't like. Apparently woke means something that you don't want to see in the world. And I'm like, it's not bothering you. You know what I'm saying? It always baffles me. I'm never surprised, but it always baffles me the depths that stupid, myopic fucks go to get their point across. And it's always annoying. I'm just like, it rains down the sentiment. It started with a bunch of things, bro, but yeah, like most of you gamers do not deserve video games. You do not deserve any of it. Not a single shred. Not a single bit of anything enjoyable, bruh. Not one. When you got any thoughts before I move on from this shit?
No, sir, they suck.
Yep, that's all I needed, bro. Y'all fucking suck. Get a life. Go get some bitches. Don't know what a sweet baby is in your real life, bro. That's the only reason they're really trying to go after that, bro. They ain't never met a sweet baby in their life, bro. I was about to say. Mom was not even sweet babies, bruh. Fuck out of here. Anyways, moving on to the next thing. All right. We got some good news from the PC front and the PlayStation front, because Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut is coming to PC on May 16th. Again, Nixus is hard at work for another PC port. Got a whole bunch of features. Again, all the DLSS and crazy graphical upgrades with the PC stuff, as you know, is on the way. How do you feel about Ghost of Tsushima finally making its way on to the PC?
I think it's cool. I think it's gonna bring a lot more people. I think that's probably one of the few PlayStation games that needed to be brought. I feel like a little bit sooner, because I think bringing this so close to what possibly could be the year we get a PS5 Pro, maybe what pushes people over the edge. You know, maybe like, you know what, fine. Like it'll be not people like Kendall, because Kendall will never. But people less dedicated to their consoles will be like, yo, I'm gonna tap in. I've been enjoying Spider-Man. I've been enjoying God of War. I've been enjoying these games. You know what? If I tap into Ghost of Tsushima, it may be that game that pushes people to be like, you know what? I'm gonna grab a PlayStation, because I love my PlayStation for what it is, which is a single player machine. It is really, really fun to just throw a game on in my room, just vibe out, chill out. I'm still having a lot of fun with Final Fantasy 16. Like, it is perfect for those kinds of experiences. I think this is a really smart choice. I think it's a little late, not late in a bad sense, but I'm just like, yo, what took y'all so long? But I'm happy that it's coming anyways. And that is a really, really solid single player experience. I will say, I played a lot of it, still need to go beat it. I think if you're a huge fan of samurais and ninjas and things of that nature, you're gonna enjoy it. There are some things that halfway through the game I enjoy, and I still do enjoy the gameplay loop. I think it still needs to be ironed out, but I cannot wait for Ghost of Tsushima 2. That game, Ghost of Tsushima 1 to me is like a solid 9, 8.5. But with what they set up in this game, it could the sequel could easily be a 10. Easily. One genre defying 10. All they gotta do is iron out a couple kinks, you know, because sometimes your boy will try to be a little stealthy. I'll jump on a little tent and the tent will slide me off, like, you know, a little clunky. But I think that they have set a great foundation, and it is an amazing game. I might cop it on the PC. I don't know. I really did enjoy that game. It is a game you could easily get lost in. I'm excited.
Nah, I hear it. This again, I gotta talk about this, man, because the social reception is always something I kind of keep a side eye on and see it. And listen, some of y'all Sony diehards are mad. Some of you Sony ponies are mad. I saw somebody literally, there was a clip going on online, and he was literally downplaying the graphical fidelity of the game and how it looked and how good it was, just generally and stuff. And you know what I saw in the background of his room? A poster for Ghost of Tsushima. So how is you trying to damage control that? I'm like, bro, you come on, man. You don't have to lie to us, man. You ain't gotta lie to kick him. Like, you go Kendrick Lamar vibes. You don't have to lie, man. It's okay. They're coming to PC. All these exclusives that you know and love, they're coming to PC, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's okay. The world can enjoy them now. It's all right. Again, wonderful move. This continues just the PlayStation surge of first party stuff going to PC. And again, this is them being more aggressive with it. You know what I'm saying? Again, I think this is a little bit late, but still is going to continue the trend. I think through the rest of this year, we might get a couple more. We might get a couple more first party drops from Sony. You know what I'm saying? Of older games. I don't know what's left exactly. What Gran Turismo's left? What else is left? I don't know what else is actually still in the chamber from first party stuff, but I think I can think of. Yeah, if I actually, let me see it, there should be a couple more, but needless to say, I think it still continues the ball to roll, and especially in a time where first party titles from Sony aren't going to happen until next year, till 2025. We're definitely going to see more and more of this stuff drop, and probably by the time the PS6 drops, we'll have most, if not all, of their first party catalog, you know what I'm saying, from 3 years or behind, or 2 years or behind, on the PC in some form or fashion. So I'm just there, you know what I'm saying? I'm in that mind state. I'm glad it's there. This game is one of the best games of what came out 2020. This is one of the best games of the generation. Y'all need to lock in if you have not. This should have won Game of the Year in 2020, in my opinion. One of the best games that I've ever played. I think probably one of the best first-party games PlayStation's ever put out, in my opinion. I can stand on that business. With, again, all the features, the frame rates, the ultra-wide support, DLSS, the customizable pad controls, all that good stuff. Comes with the Iki Island DLC and the Legends multiplayer. Like, it's coming with everything. So you're getting this all-in-one great package. Play it. When it drops, PC people, play it. Play it. This is one of them ones. And again, I hope that the theory behind PlayStation kind of dropping things in close proximity to each other holds true with this, because again, if we got like, you know, the Last of Us HBO series and then the Last of Us Part 2 remastered came out or whatever, like if drops with content, no matter the media vehicle, are that close in proximity to each other, we could hear something about Ghost of Tsushima 2 pretty soon. And I'm not mad if we hear about it in the summer. I'm not mad if we get it like around E3 season. That will be a wonderful time. We get this in May, we get the announcement of Ghost 2 in June, or maybe towards the end of the summer. That will be great. That will be perfect. But listen, Ghost of Tsushima, I love you. PC people, rejoice. We get more eaten. Plates is full, baby.
Absolutely.
All right, pushing forward here. Probably towards the end of beginning of last week, actually, we had another set of layoffs. Unfortunately, again, EA had a whole slew of layoffs going through. I think about 5% of the company, 670 people were let go. They were sunsetting some games. And there were some really interesting comments on a couple of different things, and we'll kind of piecemeal this one. So first and foremost, just talk about some of the studio reshuffles and the layoffs in general for EA. When just your immediate thoughts.
It's sad to see. It's even sadder to see the games that are being sunset. I do think that it's just sad. We're just in such an awful time, and I really hope this is the last time we hear about layoffs, but I don't think that that's going to be the case. I feel like layoffs are I feel like we're still too close. Like, I want to say maybe hopefully 6 months from now, there won't be any more big news of major layoffs. It's really, really sad to see, honestly. Like, that's kind of just like the major takeaway from everything, and seeing all like the news about things that we'll never be able to play or not be able to play right now, or just getting scrapped. Like, it hurts as a consumer. It even hurts more as just like a regular, like, I mean, the games do not equate to the lives that these people have to now, like losing your job is such a huge impact on you that it truly does change the way your entire life is. And my heart really does go out to all the people that were laid off, and really wish to see more accountability from the people at the higher up, but Lord knows when that'll ever happen.
Yeah. And yeah, you already know my thoughts, man. Fucking sucks. I hope everybody from EA that's been affected by this can really land on their feet, because this is bullshit. I really don't like it. And again, I think it was a couple studios that shut down. Ridgeline shut down. They were working on a couple of things, but definitely wanted to kind of shift gears next to the games that were kind of moved on. One of them was a single player Battlefield experience. I believe we kind of touched on it maybe at the end of last podcast, I'm not sure, but that was being sunset, shut down from Ridgeline Games. And the Star Wars FPS game that we talked about at length for a few in the earlier weeks, that's been canceled out the gate. So as soon as it was announced, grand opening, grand closing, thoughts on those two games that kind of got cut out?
I feel bad because I know that first-person Star Wars game, we're not going to see that for a long time. If we ever do see that. Like, it's just like, I can't imagine after having all these layoffs, EA being like, let's make a single-player first-person shooter. Especially with the track record they've had in recent times with their single-player first shooters. Like, they're going to be like, well, what about that one single-player Mage game that we made? Nobody played that. Why don't we just turn this into Call of Duty 7, you know, and just, like, microtransaction the fuck out of this? People love Battlefront 2 in the end. Like, yeah, it's quite tragic.
Let
it out, bro. Let it out.
I thought I wouldn't hurt after Star Wars 1313. I thought I wouldn't hurt anymore, but you know, the hurt's back. It's back. Why the fuck would you show me something if I couldn't have it then? Why the fuck would you tell me about this if you're getting shit canceled? The whole Oh, Andrew Wilson. Damn, son. You couldn't even just hold that in the back pocket. Like, cancel games that happened years ago, like, and the company's still standing is one thing. But if you announce the game and then you tell me a week later, hey, this shit is not happening anymore. Guys, what are we doing? Guys, come on. Don't do me like that, bruh. It's just kills me inside, bro. We lost 13-13. We lost this shit. I just want some shit like Bounty Hunters again, man. Anyways, the games that are still up and running though, Mass Effect, Dragon Age, they are still up in the running, which is, you know, all isn't lost, which is fair. But there was some specific kind of wording here, some specific language behind kind of a big instance of EA's kind of reason for the cuts and what they're going to be doing moving forward. Basically, they said that, you know, licensed IP will not be successful in our industry, and they've kind of cited some step backs from that, which is kind of scary considering, you know, the amount of licensed IP that they have. Again, think about the Star Wars games, Moto's working on an Iron Man game, the Black Panther game developed by Cliffhanger. There's a lot of stuff that's still in that they're still involved with to some capacity. I mean, when your thoughts on them saying, you know, licensed IPs not really gonna pan out?
I don't necessarily agree, but it also depends on the price of the licenses. Like, I can't sit here and
I was about to say, yeah, I will just provide context on that. I remember all the again, the Insomniac stuff that was going crazy over the past like month or so. I can't remember how long ago it was since that fiasco.
Are you talking about the leaks, or are you talking about
the leak trouble and stuff?
So you're saying like because of their licensed game?
No. Not because of that, but I'm pretty sure there was information that people were kind of talking about, and there was just conversation that said licensed games cost a fuck ton. So
yeah,
people are like, oh shit. Just want to add that tidbit before you go on.
No. Thank you, because I would hate to be walking down the wrong path. That's kind of like the point I was making, is like, it really depends on the people who own the licensing, but like, let's be honest here. Let's think about all the biggest licensed games that we're talking about. We're talking about Star Wars. We're talking about Spider-Man. We're talking about Wolverine. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of like other licensed games that are like huge franchises, like,
I mean,
Warner Brothers.
Jedi to a certain extent. It's not Warner Brothers, but you know what I'm saying, it's still a licensed IP. It's pretty big now.
Yeah. Like, these are fucking companies that are essentially turning into monopolies. Like, I can't imagine going to Disney and being like, "Can I get Star Wars for the low?" Like, they're in the business of making bread. You know, that's just this is the nature of it. So when they say things like licensed games are just not really the best to make, it does sound kind of like a passion project. It does sound like people like Ubisoft or EA are taking a brunt of the pay cut when it comes to these kinds of things, because as much as I love playing Star Wars, as much as I love being Luke Skywalker in Battlefront 2, it makes sense why they were trying to gouge out all the money from us, because fucking Disney gouged out all the money from them. And even when you look at like certain things like having Star Wars, I remember when the Star Wars trilogy was coming out, there was an article that I was reading about how smaller theaters are getting absolutely destroyed by these bigger corporates, because they're like, yo, we need our movies to run X amount of times, and these big ass theaters, like, they have a lot of control, because they know that it's what the people want. People want Star Wars, people want Spider-Man, et cetera, et cetera. So they're like, yo, we can charge you really whatever, because we know you want this.
Of course.
And while something like Spider-Man is like, you know, made by Insomniac, paid for by Sony, like, it sucks for EA when, like, because Sony's already an enormous company. They have their hands in a lot of things. EA is a video game company. Unless I'm wrong, you know, at some point they're making cell phones and cameras like the way Sony is. You know, they're in the business of making video games, so it makes sense that they're more greedy when it comes to their licensed games, because they need the bread. Like, and I'm not sitting here and saying like, oh, poor little EA, you know, such a small indie company that doesn't have the money. It kind of makes sense, and maybe we may be seeing the death of these kind of franchises. Because honestly, if people just stop making Marvel games, we would either, one, just not have many more Marvel games, or maybe Disney would be like, yo, you know what, we'll lower the price on it. You know what I'm saying? And like, but like, these are the conversations that gamers should be having problems with, right? This is the problem that people should be talking about. They shouldn't be asking, oh, why is my game woke? They should be saying, yo, Disney, what the fuck? You're fucking up my shit over here. Like, why aren't you emailing the CEO of Disney being like, "Oh, reduce this price. We need these prices down." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. And it's tough to kind of be at the balls of that, but that's like a harrowing thing to say when you're literally developing like several games that are licensed to that degree. I mean, yeah, it's just it sucks. It sucks. All of it fucking sucks, bruh. Like this is all kind of conducive to the fact that they're not gonna go outside of that box. Everybody's wallet's gonna be tightened over the next few years in the industry. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be less and less flexibility to really, again, try something out of the box unless you're really getting some incentive from people who believe at the top, at that suit level, investor level, whatever you want to call it. Like, it's so tough to hear, but again, double tough because they're literally developing several games in that vein right now, and I'm like, damn, so what's gonna become of them? Are they on thin ice? Are they gonna make it through? Are they gonna actually see the light of day, or are you just gonna kind of chop them down and cut your losses and stick to, you know, the same Jedi games that you know? Again, I no disrespect to the Jedi games, because I fucking love them. They're one of my favorite series I've dropped in the past several years, but you know, are you going to be able to branch out with them, or, you know, you might as well just cut your losses and go try something new? And I think people are just going to stay in the same rowboat that they know, instead of, you know, try and swim to something potentially better.
Yeah, it's sad, but at the same time, like, it's funny to see corporate greed like destroy corporate greed, if that makes any sense.
Yes,
it's really
big fish theory, like crazy.
Yeah, like there's always somebody else. It's like, hey, you're screwing your fans with what you want from them, with how much money you want to take from them, but you're also being screwed. There's always the screw. It's like the screaming pyramid, but with getting screwed.
Oh man, it's always something bigger behind you, man. Always something bigger. Shit is insane. But yeah, that's pretty much the EA story. Again, bottom line, this sucks, and we hope people land on their feet as they keep going forward. Looking on to the next details on Dune Awakening. You know, after Dune has been cooking in the theaters with the second part, this game, kind of like a whole survival open world MMO combination, that's been getting a lot of again, attention. Again, just gonna be able to create your own character on Arrakis. Have a whole lot of different skills, abilities you can learn, different factions and loyalties that you can you know, kind of set yourself as based on your attire, a whole bunch of ever-changing, you know, world stuff, the sandstorm biomes, all that, big ass worms as per usual. I don't even think you can kill them. You can kind of dodge them and stuff. No release date, but there are closed beta stuff, closed beta activities happening right now. It looks really, really interesting, honestly, better than I thought it was going to look beforehand. So Wen, your thoughts on Dune Awakening?
Does it come with a popcorn bucket as a pre-order bonus? Nah, man. I was talking to my girlfriend the other day because I'm like, man, I need to sit down and watch these movies, because every time I see it, I'm just like, man, it just looks like a lot of sand and Zendaya.
Bro.
And half of that I'm really excited for it. So it's like,
I ain't gonna lie, solid 50%. They got me in the door.
Yeah, like I was like, that's pretty cool to see. But my biggest problem as a gamer is MMOs. That's one of the few genres that I can sit down and say, like, just not for me. I'll play a lot of things, but the reason I don't like MMOs like that is just because of the time sink of it. Don't get me wrong, I play Monster Hunter, I play a lot of different things, but like Monster Hunter is a huge grind, Destiny was a huge grind. I'm just at the point in my life where I'm like, I don't know if I really want a huge grind anymore. But at the same time, this does look cool. Like, this does look like a really dope open world. It looks like exactly what you said. It looks better than what I thought it was going to be. Of course, this is in a very controlled space. You know, this is very much in a trailer. The game could be very different from this. Or even just playing with other characters may be really annoying. Like, I may enjoy all the base building and stuff, and then I get raided, and I'm like, oh, cool, sick. So it's like, I'm dealing with the same Rust issues that I had. I'm happy that this game looks at the quality that it does, though. It's funny, literally just talking about IPs and licensing. Like, I'm happy that this game looks dope. But will I try it? we will see.
Yeah,
we will see.
I gotta watch all the movies first.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, literally, I gotta watch all that shit first. But there was actually an interesting point that came from this, which is again kind of bleeds into a lot of conversations that we usually talk about, is just those same themes. Apparently, the game again is set just before the events of the first books. So at that point, but a big change. Probably a monumental change that's literally going to shift, I guess, the entire perception of the game first for a lot of people was they're kind of, again, as per the world, a lot of kind of religious influence is a part of the world building and how the characters are perceived and what exists in the world of Dune. So apparently they're not really going to include any of that kind of religious aspect that happens in the Dune world in the game, and they kind of like sidestep it for some other alternate history timeline or a couple of other events that might spark how Dune is. But people are kind of in uproar, and like they're saying something so integral to the story, why are you calling it Dune then? Or why is it still set in the Dune thing when that setup and that lore is kind of the basis for how a lot of the world operates?
Yeah. So as a person who doesn't can't make fun of woke people or anti-woke people, because I'm gonna say I'm not a huge fan of religion in my games, but I also understand the story implications for it, and I don't think it's, when done right, I think it's fine. But I am not super against this, but I also do agree, like, why are we calling it Dune? And I know why we're calling it Dune, because a lot of you guys wouldn't even look at this game twice if it didn't have you'd be like, oh, desert and just it looks like whatever. But like now people who are into Dune are gonna be like, interesting, I'll give this a shot. And like that's a little bit kind of the problem, is that like a lot of people don't take certain things seriously unless it has a name attached to it. Like you guys wouldn't try this game out. I would. You throw this bad boy on. If actually, I think I would try this out more if it wasn't Dune, because I'd be like, oh damn, now I gotta watch Dune to figure out what all this stuff even means. But like, if you'd have told me, oh, this is a desert world where you can like create stuff, like, oh, actually, that sounds sick. I do kind of agree. Like, why are we calling it Dune if it doesn't have much to do with the actual movie, or if it's taking out such an integral part? So I'm gonna have to go with the angry gamers on this one. Like, why are we calling it Dune?
Yeah.
I don't hate that they're not doing a lot of religious stuff, and I actually do like alternative history stuff, because I love like Star Wars visions. Like, I love the idea of like a Star Wars related game that isn't super related to all the other shit. Like, I don't mind having alternate history type stuff. I mean, everybody loves multiverses stuff, right? Like, not like everybody likes the Marvel stuff that they're doing. So to me, this isn't like a huge jump from that. It's just like, yo, you just gotta understand, same world, different things took place. But yeah, we'll see what happens, because I think being afraid of those things, I guess, is the biggest concern. Like, are you afraid to add this religious stuff in there, or do you just not want to deal with it right now? Because if it's important in the movie, and again, I'm saying this from somebody who's never seen it, if it's important in the movie, it's probably important to the world, meaning that it will eventually come up again.
Yeah, and that was basically my only thing. I'm like, again, I don't know two ways about this thing, because I never read the books, I never seen the movies like that. I just kind of hear of it, understand like from a basis perspective from friends and other people who talk about the movies and stuff. But I can understand the bare fact of, if there's something that's integral to a story, removing that from the core of the story doesn't really make it that anymore. You can't identify with that anymore. You can't create that link between a different property in the same franchise anymore, and that takes away some of its value to a lot of people. Again, we talked about it and we argued about it to an extent with Avatar. You know what I mean? If you're taking away core things to the story, it kind of diminishes the value of the portrayal of what you took from, you know what I mean? Because you tossed it out, and then you just kind of started from scratch, and you didn't really give respect to where it came from, or at least provided some type of either parallel or some type of drawback to, or connection point back to the where it started, what was the actual driver behind the motivations, the world setup, all that stuff. So yes, unfortunately, in this case, again, the angry gamers are they might have some valid point to that. I don't agree with completely, completely erasing the themes and the motivations and background and world building that makes something what it is. Again, dressing it up in a certain way, maybe again alluding to it or making the hints and presence of it very implicit to make the game passable, I guess, from a sales perspective. I that's kind of fair, but completely sidestepping it, I don't think that was the right way to approach it, in my opinion.
No, I agree. And again, I just feel like maybe y'all don't need to make the Dune game, or maybe they just didn't want to deal with it right now.
Bro, you know what it is, man. It's I don't want to say the word. It's not. It technically isn't. It isn't. You know what I'm saying? It's not nostalgia because people are there. But some people have read the Dune books, and the Dune books are old. So fuck it. I'm saying it. People love that nostalgic shit. People love that nostalgic shit. Companies love that nostalgic shit. Dune name popular. Oh, I remember this book. I read this. Oh, I remember this book from a few years ago. Boom, they got a sale. And that's what they want to keep rolling. If this was, you know what I'm saying, Battle for the Sands, a random game that came out in early access and shit this year, nobody would check for it until people found out, oh, this shit's really good. Oh my gosh. But you know, again, game looks really solid. Actual, again, the lore pieces and actual connection to Dune, very questionable. That's all I got on it. Yeah, man. All right, we can switch on some more news here. So some news on Embracer, and it's not negative. Can you believe it?
Interesting.
Can you believe this?
I don't actually. I think it might still be negative.
Well, I'll read it out and you be the judge, man. So Saber Interactive, again, one of the big pieces that Embracer acquired a couple of years ago, they have now become a privately owned company. They are no longer under the thumb of Embracer Group after a $500 million deal was struck by a group of privately owned investors. And so the entire entity, all of its 3,500 employees, the services, all that stuff, they are now under their own roof. And with that, KOTOR remake, that's still alive. That is still a thing that, again, is still in progress. It hasn't died yet. And apparently there was some talk that Saber could bring some other studios from Embracer's umbrella out of their grasp and to Saber as well. So it could be a bit of a breakup. And Saber is now on their own. They're no longer under Embracer rule. Thoughts on that?
I'm still kind of right, just because it is negative Embracer news. It's negative news for Embracer. So like, it is bad news for them, but I'm happy that they are no longer ruining things. I'm happy that we don't have to worry about them. Does this mean KOTOR will happen? Man, I'm not holding my breath for that game whatsoever.
Listen, yo, shout out to EMP holding his heart right now hearing this shit. He's like, yo, please, I'm on life support, man.
That man is coping like no other.
Facts.
But I do think it's dope that people are getting away from Embracer. Like, it's so sad to see what these people have done to these companies. Like, man, all from greed, But who is this private company? You think, like, conspiracy theory here. What if Disney was out here, gave a couple of their employees a bunch of money? They're like, yo, listen. These guys are fucking up the bag. Go buy this off of them, and you guys let them cook. Like, that would be sick. But I'm happy that these people are getting away from Embracer. I genuinely just don't understand how they keep getting away with this. Like, I just find it so crazy that they could, like, a company could just straight up buy another company, make a bunch of people lose all of their jobs, do nothing, and then just be in the state that they're in. Like, that's legal. Like, that legally happened. Like, that doesn't make any kind of sense to me. I feel like you're lying. You know, like, where's the Better Business Bureau? That's my question. Are they not on the case?
I mean, this company is Swedish in nature, so I mean, I don't know if they can really touch and break. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. I have no idea how the base of jurisdiction works geographically with them. I don't know where Saber's based. Actually, it could be in Canada, so I don't know if the Triple B has anything to do with them for real. But yeah, so that's something to look into. But I don't want to burst the bubble all the way, but I'm pretty sure it was like private investors from, I guess, who were affiliated with the company itself from beforehand, so they kind of reacquired themselves in a way. I guess that was some of the wording that was reported on what's it called? It was GameDeveloper.com that had a story as well. Jason Schreier broke the story as well. I gotta double check his thing to be sure. But a lot of that verbiage suggested that they bought themselves back. You know what I'm saying? They kind of bought themselves out from under Umbrella's Embracer's umbrella.
They might as well be Umbrella Corporation.
Yeah, on type shit, bro. Type shit. But yeah, there was that. They had that potential option to, maybe carry out a couple more studios that were under Embracer's umbrella as well. So Embracer's trying to sell them off as much as they can, and they gave that option to Saber as well. I'm just very glad that, again, we have this kind of slow wave of, I wouldn't say it's a full counter wave, but it's a small counter wave of autonomy being regained by a lot of studios. And again, you saw it with Saber, you saw it with Toys for Bob. They went independent. And on a smaller level, you've seen people gain their IPs back, like what's it called, Remedy got their IP back. Yeah, FromSoft got full control over Elden Ring, you know what I'm saying, after that came out. You can start to see this small counter wave of, as the one, at least silver lining of the economy kind of receding and the game industry kind of shrinking up, is that there are opportunities for autonomy to be rebought for these developers, and for them to get that independence, from people who are, who have invested in them previously and all that stuff like that. So I like seeing that. In addition to new studios from, again, new small studios from, again, different developers being formed and built. I love when people get their autonomy back. I love when studios who are not under a conglomerate or whatever get that independence back in some way, shape, or form. And I hope that wave continues in some fashion over the next couple of months and years, as we're seeing, people are still trying to be cutthroat. I hope there's room for people to kind of get that autonomy back and break up a lot of, oligopolies, monopolies, clusters of companies under one regime. I hope there can be at least a little bit more of that as we continue on in the industry for this year. So I'm hoping that, and save KOTOR, man. Save KOTOR. That's all I want.
I will not be holding my breath for them. I wish the best for the KOTOR fan base. You guys have truly been through the ringer,
bro. I try not to think about it. But we can talk next about Helldivers, baby. Your update on democracy is here. Let's talk about all of these new changes. So one, we have a new War Bonds pack that's coming on March 14th. We have new weapons in the Last 16 Sickle, which is a laser rifle, an SG-8P, a Punisher Plasma, an Arc 12 Blitzer, which is like an arc of close range lightning, 3 brand new suits, brand new capes, I think what is it, about to say a couple of different things, but those are the major updates that are coming next week on the 14th. And apparently there's a lot of dev confirmation that has been going around. There's going to be a whole bunch of changes that are eventually coming to the game. You can call an AI squad of super soldiers. Helldiver.
Ooh, that's hard.
Yeah, I did. That's on the way. Apparently, it got some confirmations. That Helldiver mechs. We have vehicles like cars and buggies for players. Apparently, again, we've heard new factions should be coming. It's on the way. New mission types, new enemy types, new guns, which again we've heard about in this latest War Bonds update, and more. So we got a lot of stuff coming. There was a lot of, again, nerfs as well, nerfs and changes with the guns. I think the meta setup for a lot of people got nerfed, so we're looking for different options. They had a whole statement on like what they were looking to balance and how that was going to play out and stuff, and there's been an uproar about that a little bit. But how do you feel about all the changes that have been happening and are coming to Helldivers 2 win?
Well, there's a couple things about Helldivers that I think is really interesting. One, I don't think people understand how sick it is how they're handling the way they're rolling out this. Like, it's so sick. I may have to make a video about this, because it reminds me of when Overwatch did the same thing with like Sombra, and they were like, yo, Sombra hacked the servers, and they made full websites, and there was like a whole thing about like, they had people like trying to decipher code to find out when Sombra came out, and the only reason that shit wasn't cool is because the rollout was awful. They did not have Sombra ready when the fans figured out where Sombra was. Like when they were doing all these cool little marketing games, it was fun until they were like, wait, so like we figured out all the clues, like when are we getting Sombra? They're like,
didn't think I'd get this far.
Yeah, like the fact that they're like, hey, the people in the robots are on this planet. They're currently taking it over, or it is currently taken over. I remember seeing the tweet. It's one of those two. Go retake the planet so we can get the exosuits. If every time new shit dropped because we had to go do something, that is a really great incentive. Because here's the thing. This is normally how video games go. I'll use Destiny as an example. Hey, new content drops on the 21st. So what do people do? Show up on the 21st, play the new content, leave. You tell me new content drops on the 21st only if everybody gets on and unlocks it.
That's
brother.
hard.
I'm gonna be there on the 15th.
That's hard.
I'm gonna be there on the 15th. Why wouldn't I? Like, I'm gonna do my part. And now I get this mech, and it's cool because I'm like, yo, we got the mech. We liberated this place. We have the mechs now.
Facts.
The only thing that sucks now, lore-wise, is what happens if this planet falls again? Do we not get mechs anymore? That's a good question. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if they go real crazy on us right now, and they're like, yo, if this planet falls, mechs will be locked for Helldivers because this is where the mechs are. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this opens up a huge can of worms. And it's now a meta game, because now it's no longer, oh, I'm gonna just log on to Helldivers, I get off the game, it doesn't matter anymore. Now I'm gonna be at work. And if I find out motherfuckers ain't at, what is the new place called? Tawam or whatever? If y'all not out here protecting our big robots, how are we gonna be doing level 9 missions?
Get
you know
the
what
T
I'm
and
saying?
Quan! Get the T and Quan!
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we gotta tighten up. But like, things like this are so cool, right? Like, this is such a dope moment. Also, to all the people, all the meta players, one, go outside. It is a video game. Like, this is, I think Helldivers is one of the biggest, it's a video game like I've seen in my life. Because it's
even
fun.
the CEO's like, it's a video game,
bro.
dog.
It's a game. Relax. Why are you kicking people? Like, I'm sorry that not everybody's gonna run the railgun. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just unlocked it the other day. I didn't really care for it when I had it. Like, it was cool. It was a really strong gun, but the fact that I had to run the fucking railgun is really ass. Like, it's annoying. So I'm really happy that shit got nerfed. I love the breaker shotgun. I'm happy that shit got nerfed. I'm very happy that a lot of these guns are getting the treatment that they kind of deserve, because it is way more fun to play a game of Helldivers with a diverse loadout than everybody running railguns. Because there's no point. If I see more than 2 people running railguns, it doesn't make a lick of sense to me, because by the time you guys, one, you shouldn't be losing your railgun, really. Like, I've ran through a bunch of missions where I've had my support weapon damn near the whole time. So if more than 2 people need to have that stratagem, it just feels like a waste of a stratagem. But also, I just hate that we're running meta guns in a PvE game. Like, I understand esports is very lucrative, even though a lot of esports organizations are in horrible states right now. I understand being the best at a video game is very important to some of you. It is a PvE game. Like, this is why people don't want to play with you in other games. This is a game that literally meant to be fun. It's just meant for you and your boys to get around like, oh my God, I got blown the fuck up. Like, this is what the game is meant to be. Not, oh, you don't have XYZ? Yeah, you're out of my squad. Like, oh my God, whatever, bro. So kudos to Helldivers, man. They're cooking so fucking hard right now. I cannot express how cool the concept is of, like, because now the community, they're all the people who play Helldivers, we all feel like Helldivers. We're all like, let's get for democracy. Like every time we get into, like, hoo-ah, salutes. Like, it's so funny. But it's really annoying when the people are taking it too serious. Like, come on, bro. There's more to life than Helldivers. Like, it's a fun game. We're having fun with it. Let's not make this shit weird.
Yeah, and on the same token, man, democracy gotta be had, bitch. Stop playing at a stop messing around at a gun got nerfed, bro. Get in the game. Get on the planet. We got shit to defend. Stop being a bitch. Stop.
If you need that gun to spread democracy, we don't need you spreading democracy, brother. Like, you're not doing shit for us.
Facts. I would have spread democracy with these 2 bare motherfucking hands. You understand me? You understand what I be doing?
A real Helldiver right here.
I'm really diving in these streets. Are you diving? I don't think
seem like.
I don't think they divers, bro. I don't think they're real divers. But seriously though, just to speak on again the updates as well. I love those changes. I love that the war bonds came in a relatively quick fashion. It literally has not been nothing but a few weeks, so we already have some extra guns and stuff to mess with and it adds to the arsenal. Really cool mech stuff. Wonderful, and I'm loving how they're rolling this out, bruh. I had this thought I had the thought today, And it's kind of just dawned on me. I want to kind of actually do like a longer segment on this another time, but D&D is really the best game of all time. Like it might actually be the best game of all time. Like bro, when you
without a shadow of a doubt.
Like when you literally think about it though, like just, you know, games, everything. I'm talking about not just video games, but games period. Like this is just, that's the quintessential, like you can do whatever, because you know what I'm saying, if I'm Joel the game master, I'm like, yo, I'm rolling this out any way I want. Okay, you know, you guys want to earn this thing? Okay, do something for me. What you gonna do? Defend this planet? It's an automatic story flashpoint that really only happens in a D&D format when you think about it. And it's just like the amount of variety that you can create to introduce content, to keep people engaged, to create different gameplay feels, the amount of organic moments that happen from a D&D set format that is manifest in a game like Helldivers 2 is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. It's crazy how many, again, organic, like just fun moments and just flashpoint decisions that you have to make in a world like this, bro. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic, bro. I love it. I love it so much, man. It's crazy to see how many case studies there are when you really deep it, how D&D has its fingerprints all over so much stuff that leads to rich moments that people enjoy. Not just, you know, it didn't have to be on a roller coaster like a cart system where you just kind of hop in, you're within the rails, bro. We can take you this way. I'm gonna take you this direction you've never been in before. What are you gonna do now? Oh, you've seen that thing over there before? It might come into play later. We'll figure it out. Like this, again, just organic is the word that sticks out to me, and I love it so much, and Helldivers benefits so much from that being embedded into their DNA. So that's fire. I love to see that. And again, for the nerfs and stuff like that, this is my thing. This is my thing on, you know what it is with me. Death to the metas. Every day, all types of ways. Death to these metas. Play the game how you want to play the game. But this is also my thing. Somebody brought a really good point up, man. Shout out to Gaming Ethos. Shout out to Ethos on the timeline. He brought up a very, very good point that I think is conducive to the death to metas, kind of the rhetoric, what I talk about, what I preach about. He brought up a really good point about Helldivers. He was like, yo, people don't understand that this game probably wasn't meant to run the same thing on every character. People can customize and fit their loadouts to complement each other, have different functions, and solve different problems as they arise in a game. Not everybody has to run a rifle. Not everybody has to run this thing. This world is more dynamic than you think. The loadouts and the gameplay loops are more dynamic than you think. This is not just, this is not just brainless shooting. This is us solving a problem to get to the next stage, and then solving that problem and having the right tools in the toolkit to solve each problem as it comes. Now, if everybody has the same loadouts and that loadout gets nerfed, we all feel like we're in a bad fucking place right now. But then the flamethrower got a buff, so one person can put on the flamethrower and deal with like a charger or something like that, and then another person can put on a breaker and deal with that in a close proximity. Other people can be long range and be Overwatch. Like, I don't think people understand that, you know, again, the mechanics of just shooting aliens and stuff like that seems fun, but this game gets a lot deeper than that, because you can actually tailor your needs of the mission and tailor your loadouts to what other people have, to fully complement a squad, to fully have a team that is, again, conducive to something that can get the job done. Hey, I'm thinking about it, bro. People love Halo Reach so much, but didn't understand that one person had a sniper, one person had a couple rifles, a pistol, and stuff like that. They had different specifications. They were Noble 6 for a reason. They all had distinct features that made them, again, different people, different soldiers approaching in different ways, but they were still a unit. Again, given they all died, but that's beside the point. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like it's more than just everybody shooting aliens and automatons. It is coordination. If you didn't understand coordination can bleed into what you choose before you drop, then I don't know where you've been all this time, bruh. Because again, being on the same accord and complementing each other to get the job done, it runs through this entire game. Not when you're on the planet, before you even take a step onto the pod to drop into that world. And I think that's something that people have to really take stock of as they go through these missions and go through these different worlds and experience the game more. You can do something different and still get the job done as long as you're coordinating with people and you complement what everybody else has. That's the bottom line of it, man. The democracy ain't alone. Democracy is for the people, and people are different. So embrace differences. Embrace democracy.
No, yeah, and I hate that I have something else to say because that was a really good point to stop on. That was really good.
Go for it.
I really hate how good that was.
That was mad political,
like,
bro. I feel
no,
real.
it was beautiful.
I feel all right now. Yeah.
It was beautiful. Now the thing that's funny is like when I first picked the game up, and like me personally, I hate running meta. Like if you're somebody who's was in my last like Tekken stream, I talked about why I stopped playing Dragunov, and it's mostly because like I just wasn't having fun with the character. And the fact that the character is so damn good, in my opinion, that I was just like, man, it's just not as fun. Like, it's not why I picked the character up. And I hated playing a meta character because I felt like I didn't really have any like skill expression. People were just assuming I'm just trying to be the best with the best tool or whatever. So when I started seeing people like running certain things, the first thing I did in Helldivers was like people were running, like, you know, let's say they were running the whatchamacallit. Oh my God, what's the word for it? The
breaker?
The railgun.
Oh, the railgun.
When people were running railguns or they were running like, yo, here's a 500k bomb, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I ran sentry guns. I have like, and you can ask anybody who's played with me, I run all sentry guns. I don't play really with any like orbitals, except for now I bought the railgun orbital. Mostly because I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then I remember my friend Jess was like, oh, that's just kind of ass. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna make this shit not ass. I'm gonna make that shit super clutch. And it's just because at the end of the day, everybody's running the same shit. I don't want to, mostly because I think that there is a purpose for it. Like when we're running and everybody's using their orbitals and the bugs are, and like we kill all the bugs in the area, but one calls in a bug breach. Good thing we got my fucking Gatling gun still out. Good thing we have these mortars still out, because at the end of the day, we need it. It's useful for those things. I remember my friend Martino was telling me like, yo, use flamethrowers for the chargers because it's really good. It's really good for them because it does fire damage and you can get through their armor. Cool. I started running flamethrowers. Everybody's running they were running railguns, which is fine. Run whatever you want. Like also like if you genuinely like the railgun, run the railgun. Who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? But don't run the railgun just because you think you need to. Because when I was running the flamethrower, that shit was doing work to them too. And not only was it doing work to them, that shit was like it was at times better than the railgun because people were missing shots, but not me. My ass was burning everybody and we were just keeping pushing. Yep. Like stop running meta. Nobody cares about that dumb shit, bro. Like you're not getting paid. You're not going pro in Helldivers. Facts. You're not. Like I know people are coming from like Destiny or like they're coming from things like
they do all the races and stuff like that.
Yeah, like the raid races, like bro, that's cool, but it's not not that deep. Yeah, like it's not that deep, because at the end of the day, me and my boys are still gonna run the same mission you did and have the same amount of fun. But I think the problem is that a lot of people don't know how to have fun anymore. Like y'all, like this game is built for people who want to have fun, and a lot of y'all want to be good, and that's kind of sad.
Facts. It's not about efficiency. It's about immersion, bro. Just get immersed in the game. Again, having a slight buff to a shotgun to give it more recoil and maybe a bit less capacity and stuff like that, which makes a shotgun more like a shotgun, probably makes sense in logical terms. You know what I'm saying? It's not about oh damn, my gun got buffed so I can't even do the job no more. A shotgun's still a shotgun. You can find another way to do it, or you can still run the shotgun, or just be more careful with your fucking shot. It's just again, it's just different tools for the toolkits on all of these different things, and it's not that hard to grasp, in my opinion. And I don't think people should be that bent out of shape about actual buffs and nerfs to a PvE game to make it feel, again, more viable across the board and promote people to try something else, try something new, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let me go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, bro, like I saw like the nerfs, like, oh, they nerfed these guns. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And they said 50% buff to the flamethrower. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? We're running the flamethrower. What do you mean? And if they nerf the flamethrower and they're like, yo, 50% buff to this stratagem, bro, what do you mean? I'm copping up on this shit. I can't remember what was the main gun. I think they buffed the laser gun, if I'm not mistaken. I hope they did, because that shit was dog shit. But like, why not just run the new shit? Why not try out new things? But like, y'all really just hopping on. Yeah, man, I don't know. Like, again, y'all don't deserve games like this. Y'all should just be, y'all should just play League or some shit. Like, find the meta shit, you know, get good, whatever. Like, bro, why are we even having this conversation? Like, and that was one of the biggest issues I kind of had with even games like Elden Ring. Like, you guys like didn't really play Elden Ring because it was like you guys didn't really want to play Elden Ring to be difficult. Like you guys were all like running the same exact build, doing the same exact shit, and some of you guys weren't. Kudos to y'all. But a lot of y'all were running the same sword that had the big ass beam on it because it did bleed damage and the beam was dumb broken. And it just didn't make sense to me that you guys want these games to be dumb difficult and super hard for you to just watch a YouTube video and do whatever the one guy did to beat the boss. You know, like it just makes no sense.
You just want a badge for doing it, but you didn't do it yourself. And it's just like, and again, if you want a guy just to get through the game, cool. But if you're boasting and bragging about how you made it through, and then
no easy mode.
Oh yeah,
but then runs easy mode.
Yes, slight work. But you had the most meta build and stuff like that. What did you earn? You just copied my man's homework. You know what I'm saying? You didn't earn a grade. And that's why in a sea of sameness, people like to let me solo her dude. Like he stands out as one of the the world's best to ever do it. One of the most entertaining figures we possibly ever seen from a game's lore and stuff like that, because he did something different. He tried something different, so different that everybody wanted to see it. And boom, there you go. It's just, guys, just try. Use the gears in your head just to think out of the box. Do you think it'd be fun? Why not try it? That's my thing, bro. Like, just give things a shot. You don't have to fall into, you know what I'm saying, no TLC reference to, you know what I'm saying, rivers and streams that you used to and shit. You know what I'm saying? You can chase waterfalls, damn it. You can chase a waterfall. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Just have fun doing it. That's really the only thing. Damn, bro, motherfuckers gonna be ship this democracy, motherfucker. Stop bitching. All right, anyways. Let's move on to the next story here. And of course, now, last time we're talking about Warner Brothers because, unfortunately, after 21 years of just being up around the internet, Rooster Teeth has unfortunately shut down. There was just, again, a lot of talk, and just out of nowhere it came through this week. A lot of talk has been happening in the aftermath of what's going to become of it. But, you know, they're a subsidiary, and they've just been kind of taken out, had the memo and stuff, and it's over. It's over, man. Thoughts?
It's sad because I remember watching some of the Rooster Teeth stuff, and I don't know much about Halo, but I did watch
Red vs. Blue, man.
Yes, sir. I did watch that, and it's like, it's sad because, again, Rooster Teeth, and I think it's just hard for like these old execs to get their head around what this meant to people, you know? Like, I think it's just really difficult because they're just like, well, numbers wise, what are they doing for us? I'm sure that's literally, I don't know what went on in that room, but I'm pretty sure they asked that question. Like, well, how much are they generating? Why are we even going to keep them here? And like, I think Rooster Teeth as we know it will change. I don't think the people in it will. I think if they are, I think they can possibly like do their own shit, you know? Because the brand is strong. And honestly, fuck the corporate sponsors. Just make your bread the other way. Just try to make or try to make the bread the other way. I also could see you guys pitching your shit, what you've done, and getting other investors involved, man. But like, it's so fucking annoying that Warner Brothers has their hand in so much shit, man. Like, why are we giving these people this much power?
Yeah, man. It's just, and it is also tough because, again, Rooster Teeth was definitely like, I remember they laid off 50 people like a little while ago, probably like last year or something like that. Like they were still trying to figure things out and how to shift and properly adjust to, like, you know, the changing times and stuff. But I feel like there could have been at least more time allotted to see them try and figure things out. But again, if you're under WB's thumb, it's like, you know, you don't really get too much time.
You don't have time
on the clock.
You don't have that luxury with them.
Yeah, you don't have that luxury, man. But there was a lot of stuff that was really, really cool from their side. Again, outside of all the content, remember like the digital creators program, which, like, you know, helped you know big up all like the you know what I'm saying, marginalized, underrepresented talent that came through. There's a lot of people that benefited and got a chance to be on screen for the first time because of that program. And so, you know, you got to big ups to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so much good stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, you know what I'm saying, Nah, it was before. Monty Ohm had his own videos on that, but Monty Ohm goes involved with Red vs. Blue at some point. Rest in peace, one of the ghosts, man. Monty Ohm was involved with the animation for Red vs. Blue. You know what I mean? Freaking Rage Quit was one of I remember one of the first like It wasn't one of the first, but definitely was one of the early like YouTube videos I remember seeing and stuff. And that series fails, you know what I'm saying, horse on Halo and stuff. Like there were so many cool moments that came from, you know what I'm saying, the Rooster Teeth crew. It's sad to see it go, man. It just kind of hits in the same ballpark as G4, where it's like, you know, I really wish we could have a moment to pivot. They're trying to strive and you know, expand, and there's not enough. Not necessarily infrastructure on their part. There isn't enough momentum in terms of the general industry that allows them that space to flourish and really have time to figure things out and get to that next platform that they want to get to. So it's tough, but I hope they can, you know what I'm saying, find some way to really, you know, come back in some form. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, like Jeff, you know what I'm saying, Jeff and them can you know, regain their IP if they're getting rid of them. I hope Sony, not Sony, but Warner Brothers doesn't own their IP in like perpetuity and shit like that. Hopefully they can get that back and maybe do something independent, maybe do something that they might want to do to carry the banner on if they see it fit. One thing that was really like, oh, that's really WB of you. They're like, as soon as they shut down the company, apparently they're like looking around to shop Red versus Blue, Ruby, I think Genlock as well. They were like trying to like see where they can sell off the property to who else to keep that going, get some bread off it. So they're trying to flip the, you know, Warner Brothers is basically trying to flip the money as much as they can and stuff. So I was like, damn, like not even a second after, you're just looking to sell all that shit. It's just, yeah, WB's WB and like crazy. But you know, my prevailing thought is it's tough to adjust without, you know, being under WB's thumb. But you know what I'm saying, rip to a legendary network.
Yeah, no, I remember buying VRV and seeing like Rooster Teeth content on that streaming service. Also, I think that shit might be dead too. And being like, oh my god, I'm so happy that like they're on like the same service that I'm using to watch my anime. Like I'm so proud of them. Like this shit is so cool.
Yeah, man.
Hate to see it.
Rip some of the ghosts, man. Definitely. Moving on, some other news here. We got a rumor sprouting that Respawn is developing a brand new game set in the Titanfall universe, but it's not Titanfall 3. So we had Vince Zampella had some confirmation that a small team led by the, again, Titanfall director Steve Fukuda, they're working on a new game from last year. You know, they're kind of working on something there, but they said it's not Titanfall 3, which is what the fuck are we looking at? What are we doing?
Honestly, if it's not Titanfall 3, can it be like a Titanfall-esque, like what's the word for it?
Like, a prequel,
like
a sequel series, and an adjacent property?
Yes, like a spin-off single-player experience type vibe. Still Titanfall-esque, like still in the universe, still very much the movement. But like, if you're not gonna give us the multiplayer aspect, maybe a single player, because single player was sick too. Like something, man. I just don't know what more they want out of us to make another Titanfall. You know what I'm saying? Like, people have literally been saying for years now, yo, this is the right time. We want this. We need this. Let's get it. Come on, please. And they're just sitting there like, I don't know if the people want it.
Got me sound like,
what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Sound like fucking Tyrese. What more do you want from me?
Bro, like, you guys are like not seeing the signs. And I just genuinely feel like maybe there's just like an EA component that we're not aware of, or like a bigger part at play. Like, hey, you're not allowed. Maybe like they had to have like make a deal with EA to make Apex or something, where they're like, if you make Apex Legends, you are never allowed to make Titanfall 3. Like maybe it's because, and I
don't even think it was that. I feel like Apex came at a time where it was like, yo, listen, let's just at least try this small little thing, and if it doesn't work, this small little free-to-play game, if this doesn't work, you can cook us, that's fine. And they're like, all right, whatever. And it blew up beyond everybody's expectation, and now EA is like, yo, we don't have enough resources for you to go and do your own thing. You're stuck on Apex until we tell you to go do something. And that's why I feel like a small splinter team now has the wiggle room to go make this, because they're like, okay, finally we got a little bit of breathing room. Cool. Is Apex stable? Yes. All right, cool. Now we can start, you know, do a little pitter patter on this. And Vince Zampella is like, he's in control of, you know what I'm saying, Respawn stuff. Well, I think, EA stuff generally, you know what I'm saying? He moved up from Respawn. So he's like, all right, I'll give y'all a little bit of wiggle room to do this, but you know what I'm saying? It's my ass if this shit flops. So I feel like it could have gone down like that, personally.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. So I don't know. hope this shit is cool. Is the best way I could describe it. Like, I hope this shit is cool.
Yeah, if it ain't Titanfall 3, what are we doing? I was like, yo,
yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. It's like,
on?
sure, bro. Like,
it's gonna be like a home front. You know what I'm saying? A home front, but a Titanfall version. What are we doing? Some alternate story or what? I don't know what. Where are we going? Where are we going? Take us somewhere, please. Take us somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm tired of Apex. I don't want battle royales no more. Ridiculous. Oh man. Moving on. Speaking of ridiculous, man, we had a ridiculous whole session in the positive way for No Rest for the Wicked. Wicked Inside happened on the 1st. We got a whole bunch of details with the game, the world, what we were seeing. You know what I'm saying? The world looking all handcrafted and stuff. ARPG, straight up combat, different gear rarities. You know what I'm saying? Weapons that can drop with, you know, runes that you can extract. Sacrament being that capital city that you can customize with your own homes and again build them in a different way. There's a whole bunch of, again, games, regions, systems that are involved in this. What did you make of Wicked Inside and No Rest for the Wicked?
Game's kind of massive, no? Like,
bro, it's
I didn't think it was gonna be this.
It's deeper than it, bro. From when we first reacted, I was like, yo, this game looked hard, but I was like, damn, wait, there's a lot more to this shit. Hold on, wait.
Yeah, like, all right, my bad. I was quite literally unfamiliar with your game. Like, you guys, this is dope. This is huge. Like, sheesh, man. I thought this was like, we were gonna get a Soulsborne kind of low-key a linear story, but we're gonna keep it pushing. Like, nah, they're trying to keep you in there for the long haul, which I'm all for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am excited for this. Like, I thought it was just gonna be a Souls game. My ass probably wasn't gonna beat it, but you start throwing things like, oh, like base building, like, oh my god, shit is dope.
Bro, I was really loving everything I was seeing. I can't even lie to you, bro. I liked how they had those little differential points in the combat too. Again, like the weight systems, you know what I'm saying? Like all the armor weights will affect your different movements. Like if you ever weren't all light, you can dodge roll. Actually no, if you weren't all light, you can sidestep, but if you weren't heavier armors, you can only dodge roll like a little bit slower, which was like, again, really, really cool, different points of emphasis and the choices that you can make in your builds. I like the rune system, pretty simple, straightforward. Again, different levels, some of them might have penalties, but you know, again, some risk reward there. I really like that. Promotes a lot of different variety and just, you know, player freedom and choice. But what I really, really loved was the alive system that they mentioned. It was, you know, basically they said, you know, across the map is going to be a really big map outside of Sacrament. There's a lot of world to explore, but coming back to certain areas, you know, after you clear out one side, you know, other enemy types and enemy factions and whatever can spawn in. And so you can, that whole area that you cleared out one way probably has to be cleared out a different way or approached differently because the new enemies have spawned that way. Adds a whole bunch of variety potentially to what you're seeing, and again, at least makes you think carefully and tread lightly when you're going into different areas. Not like, you know, you can just run around willy-nilly and you don't have as much empty space to deal with. I really like that. It's like, it's adding a lot more dynamism and really kind of slowing down the thought process of the game a little bit, to where you're like, okay, I gotta very, very much approach things strategically because I don't know what's around the corner, even though I've been here before. So I like that. I like that sense of dynamism that they've added to the game. They had a whole day and night cycles. Again, the animations and stuff look beautiful. The set pieces and everything, the world looks beautiful. They said it was, again, handcrafted. Love that. Nothing procedurally generated. That stuff looks dope. And again, on top of all this, 4-player co-op is on the way too. So playing 4-player co-op in this type of environment, I'm loving. The bosses look brutal. Like, you know what I'm saying? That this looked fun, man. This looks fun, and I really cannot wait to get into it. I'm super excited for this.
No, this game looks amazing. And even if, like, from when I first saw it and one of my first impressions, I was like, oh, this game looks really, really dope. I can't wait to play it. This game's gonna be pretty substantial. Like, I'm super gassed to play it,
bro. If this thing hit right, this could be in contention for some big awards, man. If it hit right,
for sure,
it could really be in there, bro. And again, you know me, I'm not on the Soulsborne wave. I'm not one of you masochists. I'm not one of y'all, but I am excited for this. So that should tell y'all something, man. I'm looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to it.
Same.
All right, looking forward at another game that's coming through, Terminator Survivors, baby. Come on, man, lock in. When Terminator Survivors, they had a whole trailer drop and a bunch of details that came through. It's again, survival game in an open world. You can play co-op as well. Scavenge your resources against these damn Terminators of Skynet. Talk to me, Wen. How you feeling?
Man. we were just talking about how some of these IPs were very, very expensive. I think Terminator needs to up the price a little bit more. I wish this was the one that was expensive, because one, my favorite trailers are the ones that show me nothing and tell me nothing. Truly is like a great experience. Like it's almost never a waste of time. I think the whack shit from Terminator, like the new movies, the games, all that shit, is the main reason I've never finished like the original movies. Like I remember finishing the first movie, I want to say like last year, I've watched Terminator 1 for the first time ever. Every time I'm like, oh, you know what? I want to tap in. I see shit like this, and I'm like, man, what am I looking forward to here? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's like Dune? The reason I want to watch Dune is because like that Dune game looked cool. You know, there's a bunch of Dune shit, and I'm like, damn, maybe I'm missing out on something. It's like, oh man, I can't wait to watch Terminator so that I can fully enjoy. I'm trying to think of a good Terminator game, Tripp. I can't even think of a Terminator game right now. Damn. Like that's how bad the landscape for the Terminator franchise is right now. That's tough, even with Predator, like at least he had that one cool game on Epic that was hyped for like a couple months. Like that shit was cool.
That's true.
What am I looking forward to here, Tripp? Like this, y'all need to stop making games for this franchise. Make a robot game. Leave the Terminators alone, man. At this point, they're the victims.
The most hyped thing about Terminator was his inclusion in Mortal Kombat the last couple things ago. It's probably
you know
what
I'm saying?
For you.
Like I can't think of one thing about Terminator outside of those movies, the first couple of movies, that I'm like, oh man, can't wait to enjoy that later. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Y'all cooked this shit into oblivion. Like I want nothing to do with this. And now we're getting another Terminator game. Cool. Honestly, if I want this shit to be good, because I like a good, you know, little survival game. I'm not even sure if this is a survival game.
It is survival. It's called survival game, or it can be solo survival, but yeah.
So like I'm assuming if it's something like base building, like I love that shit, man. I really do. That's my shit. But I really, really, really hate bad games. And this is kind of what it's shaping up to look like. So I'm gonna just, you know, hold my breath. Hopefully it's good, because I think they really do need a win, and I think it's a franchise that has a lot of room to be good.
It could be amazing.
Game. Like shooting robots is fun. Look at Helldivers 2. Look at Binary. What was it called? Binary Domain. That game was heat, but we don't get none of that. We get again. I cannot think of anything outside of the ones in Dave and Buster's. We get Dave and Buster ass games. And those are the ones that are always broken. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't even make sense to me.
The thing is tough, though, is RoboCop came out with that game Rogue City, and it actually wasn't bad. So they're like negative points. Terminator franchise is negative points, bro. Your ops is getting up on you, bro. Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Shit crazy. All I gotta say is, for right now, I will not be back. So we gonna move on from that shit. We gonna get out of here. Moving on, though, we had some announcement that Paranormal Activity will actually get a game in 2026, man. When you hear about a Paranormal Activity game, man, what do you think of? What are you feeling?
Turning down the volume. That's the first thing I think of. The moment you say Paranormal Activity game, like I wouldn't even launch that bitch with my headphones on. I would launch it, and as soon as I see options, turning that thing down. Or if you have an Elgato, you turn it down via the Elgato sound settings, but we're not going to talk about that right
XLR.
Now. Yeah, Wave XLR. But yeah, the moment you say Paranormal Activity game, I've never watched the Paranormal Activity movie, and I thought to myself, I would love to be there. You know what I'm saying? Even when I think the only one that I really watched all the way through was the second one. That shit literally was just loud noises and shit falling. First person though, I can see. You give me a first person game like that, that shit could be cool. I would love to watch other people play it, and that would be fun.
The people behind, I don't know if you know this game. The people who made the Mortuary Assistant, they're making this game.
Yeah.
Shit's cooked. Shit's cooked. I ain't gonna lie. Hard. They're gonna go crazy, but shit's cooked for me. I'm not playing that shit. Listen, I'm shook, bro. Listen, I got heart palpitations.
Where is Corey Kenshin? We need him out of retirement for this, bro.
Nah, this one, honestly, again, it just takes the right set of people, and you can make anything fire. You know what I mean? Like this. this seems pretty good. This seems like a pretty good match, and I will be happy, observing all you people that play this game when it drops in 2026. But me, I got hard problems and shit, man. I need Prilosec OTC, man. My stuff be up and down, bro. So I'm gonna have to pass politely, but I'll watch it. I'll watch it. I'll watch the shit out of y'all play.
Drop your links of this video. If what in 2026 when this comes out, if you're listening to this podcast, drop us those links. We'll watch that shit.
Dead ass, bro. Face cam on. I want to see the reaction.
Yeah. I'm not sitting around for no. Yo, you ain't got your face cam on in the horror games, brother. Turn it off. What's the point? What are we doing this for, brother?
Give up.
Give up.
Oh man. And on to our last story, and it actually is not the end of good Embracer news potentially. Interesting.
I don't know what that means.
Maybe. But we've heard a lot of noise about Gearbox software, and there's been a lot of chatter and pitter patters and all that stuff around the rumor mill about a potential sale away from Embracer. So Gearbox could potentially be breaking away from Embracer Group at some point in the next month. We've heard a lot of reports about it, and that could be the case after a whole year of uncertainty after budget cuts and such. But it's likely. It could happen. When your thoughts?
So, and you're saying that Embracer owned Gearbox, correct?
Yes, they acquired them. I believe we covered it. They acquired them in No Cooldown's lifetime. So it's probably like, I think, 2022.
Is 2K just their publisher then, or
2K is a publisher?
Okay.
Yes.
I thought for some reason I thought 2K owned them, but anyways,
publisher.
Amazing for Gearbox, truthfully, because we need those Risk of Rain games, and we need them bad. So I'm really happy that they're stepping possibly away from Embracer Group. I'm finally understanding what you mean by good Embracer Group news, which means bad news for Embracer Group, which is phenomenal. No, yes, I understand it. I'm caught up to speed now.
There we go.
I think this is dope. I would love to see what Gearbox. I think Gearbox has so much potential. It's not even funny. I think they just need to hit their right stride, and I think they need to move away from certain formulas and be open to change, because some of their biggest games are games that they made when they just threw shit at the wall type of thing. Like Borderlands 2, still arguably probably one of their best games ever made, and that game was so different from 1. That game was like, we're gonna take.
I stand on it.
And I think I'm wrong when I say this, but I could be. Let me know if I'm wrong with that, but I swore Borderlands 2 was one of their last hurrahs. They were just kind of like, yo, we gotta just do.
At that point, you might not be wrong, because I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? I think it was just they weren't in the position that they're at now. They were hungry, and they were like, yo, we're gonna go crazy. I think it was such a special moment, and I feel like ever since that game releasing, similar to Far Cry 3. I don't know what was in the water in 2012, but I feel like a lot of companies hit their stride in 2012 and have ever since been trying to chase that light. Because I don't think there's been a Borderlands game as good. No, I can't say I don't think there has not been a Borderlands game,
not a single one,
as impactful as Borderlands 2. And I feel like there will be another. I have faith that it's not like Far Cry, where I've kind of given up on ever being another Far Cry 3. I think they can do it. I just think they need to start stepping away and having new ideas. They need to start doing things a little differently, because I think they have the potential to do it. They just need to do it.
Facts. And just to add some context to your statement of kind of like one of their last hurrahs. So in 2011, they came out with Duke Nukem Forever, which makes sense of why you said that, because
yes, sir. That's what it was.
It was getting tight. It was getting tight over there, boy. They needed to put up some points fast. And Borderlands 2 bought them a lot of credit in the bank, because literally the year after, they dropped Aliens Colonial Marines, which is one of the worst games I've ever seen in my lifetime. So
yes, sir.
So Borderlands 2 brought them a lot of credit, and then the year after, they dropped the pre-sequel, and then they just did more Borderlands stuff until Battleborn. And then they kind of fell face here for a little bit.
Bro, they definitely are 2 steps back, 1 leap forward.
Literally, because, bro.
Borderlands 2 was like, hey, Duke Nukem, Aliens, Colonial, and then it's like Borderlands 2, we're like, yo, we're obsessed with this game. I was obsessed with this game.
Literally.
And then Battleborn, I think we could do a podcast on the Battleborn dilemma. But I remember pre-sequel.
Yeah,
and the
pre-sequel
thing
was
is,
heat.
pre-sequel is not bad. If you're like, yo, I want to go
pre-sequel.
through. I like it too. Pre-sequel is not bad, but like one thing that a lot of people who are new gamers or just like people who are young who wasn't around during the 2012 era, when I tell you you don't understand why this game didn't do well, is just simply put, it was, imagine if right now, I'm trying to think of an equivalent of a Borderlands game, not genre, but just like size, like a Borderlands 2 size game. I'm trying to think of like a good equivalent. I would say like think of Helldivers 3. We're on PS5 right now.
Yeah.
PS6 comes out. Helldivers 3 is PS5 exclusive. We are on PS6. Everybody, I mean, I'm not saying first year PS6. I'm talking about like 2 years out. Like most people who are gonna, not even early adopters, just most people who have consoles or serious gamers are on PS6. It is a PS5 exclusive, as in you cannot play it on your PS6. That would be the equivalent of what happened with pre-sequel and Borderlands 2.
They got caught in between.
You're like, wow, this is an amazing franchise. I can't wait till the next game comes out. And then the next game comes out and you cannot play it?
Yeah.
You cannot play it?
It literally got caught. Well, it actually didn't even get caught because literally like 2013 happened. And it was a good point into development already. And they just didn't put it for next gen.
It just didn't go up. It didn't come out on next gen.
Yeah.
And that, bro. And I remember listening to I used to listen to a bunch of gaming podcasts all the time. And one of the things they were like, we were on a call with Gearbox and they talked about pre-sequel and they said PS3 and we were expecting them to continue with like PS3, Xbox 360. And we waited because we thought they were going to say PS4. And then we asked them and they said, no, we're releasing on this for right now. We think we think that the new gen, or they gave some excuse, and everybody in the room kind of like looked at each other like,
the fuck?
Okay. Like, all right, I'm not like, you're not my boy for me to be like, yo, let me be real with you for a second. It was just like you see one of your friends do something stupid and you don't feel like it's your place to say anything, so you just keep the peace, but you're like, you gonna fuck up, you gonna let them rock.
Yeah.
And then they rocked, all right. They rock bottomed. That shit was tough. And then I played pre-sequel on my PS4, and I was so tight because I'm over here talking to my boy. I'm like, bro, not only does this have some of the best character trees, some of the most unique character trees, some of the most fun combat, and we engaged, and we couldn't play that shit. It's, oh man.
Bro, and
it's tough.
Wilhelm was a beast. Yeah, it's just Gearbox has just got to get in gear, quote unquote, no pun intended. Like, it's just, they seriously got to lock in, and I hope that this sale can actually galvanize them to be in a position where they can, you know, really put forth the stuff that they need to, man. It just, they've been kind of floundering for a little bit, which sucks, but I believe in them. You know what I'm saying? They can make some really great shit. I believe in them, man. Tiny T's Wonderlands, for me, that's an example. The new Tales from Borderlands as well. Risk of Rain 2, that's an example of big.
Hold on a second. Risk of Rain 2 was not made by them. They acquired them after the game came out.
Publishing.
Risk of Rain Returns, though.
Okay,
that game, I believe they were under the umbrella.
Okay, cool. All right, so thank you for the correction. But yeah, those games, I believe that they can put out some really good shit. They really can. But it's just, if them breaking away from Embracer is the catalyst that they need to get back into that mode where like, yo, you're back against the wall, we got to really make something that stands out. We got to really make something that's super quality, that doesn't, you know what I'm saying, that doesn't fall back on and rest on our laurels. Make something that's progressive, that's fit for the new generation and moves us forward. Then so be it. I think it's needed to. Again, you know my stance on the autonomy of companies and not being under an umbrella anyways. But this means more for them, in my opinion. If they break away, it means more than just most any other company, because they have a point to prove, to really show that they still got the magic in them.
Yeah.
And that's not a pun towards Randy Pitchford either, because that motherfucker does magic. But yeah, nah, man. We'll see Gearbox, man. We'll see. And with that being said, that's all I got on the show notes this week, man. Anything that we might have missed?
Not that I can think of. We already talked about the Overwatch skins, so like,
fuck Overwatch.
I mean, yes, indeed. But other than that, not anything I can think of.
Oh shit. Well, I just got something out of literal nowhere. Apparently EA CEO, I'm pretty sure it's Vince Zampella as well. He said Apex Legends will expand beyond the traditional battle royale universe later this year. The next phase will then be, how do we think about more modalities of play? How do you expand beyond the traditional battle royale universe? And then we'll start to see that in the coming year. So damn, it might actually be the single player thing he's talking about. If they masked, oh my gosh, if we're getting jebaited to literally say, oh, we're getting a new game in the Titanfall universe, but just like another Apex offshoot, which is technically the same thing. But if you're using the Titanfall buzzwords to get us looped in, you suck, man. That's BS. This is unfair. You gonna play with my emotions like this?
Yes, they will.
It's bullshit. Oh my gosh. But yeah, outside of that, I got no other news, man. Looking towards next week, I probably got more stuff coming through, but hey, that's been this episode, bro. Closing notes winneth easy.
If I don't see you motherfuckers dropping in to get us these goddamn mechs, I don't think you guys are really serious about this
Democracy!
shit. But drink your water, play your games, look up to really good people, idolize the right people. Actually, don't idolize anybody.
Facts. I was about to say that. Don't
idolize the best version of yourself.
Soul.
You know what I'm saying? Drink water, surround yourself with good people, and play games, man.
Word. My closing statements is, look up what words mean. That would be very great, guys. Look up what words mean, because usually they're not the ones that people say, and they don't mean those words that they say, as in they don't understand. So please Google, do anything you need to. Merriam-Webster, really good. Britannica, really good dictionaries. Look into them, read them, understand the words that you say, because they do mean something. Beyond that, man, make sure you go rate this podcast 5 stars, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere, man. No Cooldown podcast will be right there. Go show some love on all different platforms, all the exclusive content. We're almost to 400 subs again on the YouTubes. And if you're watching this, if you made it to this point, I should have put this at the beginning. If you're watching this point, I checked like the video analytics and stuff like that. Like 91% of people listening to some of these videos and segments are not subscribed. So hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube, man. And if you're not on YouTube, go to YouTube and subscribe, man. Go to YouTube. We're getting there. We're getting closer. We're getting up there in the numbers, man. We want to get this podcast out to the whole gaming world, and you got to help us. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get us there. It's y'all support that gets us to the next level, bro. So we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you go rate us. Again, 5 stars. Go like, comment, subscribe, share. Let us know what you think of all the gaming news from this week, what you want to see from us, who you want to see get on the show for next week. Whole bunch of that good stuff, and we will chat to all of y'all later, man. This has been No Cooldown Podcast. We are out of here. Peace.